Good evening. It is 4:07 p.m. and I call this public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is planning to join us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the items listed under closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each item. Mrs. Elizondo.
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. We will allow speakers from the audience to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen.
Thank you, Ms.
Oh, sorry, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing none and hearing none, I close public hearing and adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will reconvene at the closed session at the conclusion of the closed session. Good evening, everyone. It is 7:12 p.m. and I call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I want to welcome the media and everyone joining us this in person and via Zoom. We ask those joining us this evening to please silence any electronic devices that are not linked to this meeting. If you would like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and public, I'd like to review our vision and our mission. Our vision states that Madera Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we're committed to creating and sustaining a culture, enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's our business this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent. Roll call. Ms. Elizondo, please call the roll.
Trustee Castillo. Here. Trustee Cervantes Hernandez.
Here.
Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Cortez.
Here.
Trustee Dibert.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Seibert.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
And President Salazar.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Trustee Dibert, would you please lead us in a flag salute?
Please stand. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Dibert. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be provided by Pastor Derek Pearl of First Christian Church of Madera. I invite Pastor Pearl to the podium.
Good evening. Will you pray with me, please? Father God, tonight we come before you, and God, I want to lift up each dedicated trustee of Madera Unified. I thank you for the fact that their commitment to making our district better is forefront in their minds, and God, may you continue to guide them and direct them as they look forward for what's best for Madera Unified. God, at the same time, I also want to lift up each of our schools, from the support staffs to the administrations, to the teachers, to the students, to the volunteers. God, it takes us all to make things effective for learning, an effective learning environment, and be able to engage the students, God. And as we head to the break, I want to thank you for keeping us safe thus far. I also want to ask for your for rest and recouping for the volunteers and the teachers and the staff, God. Thank you for the bus maintenance. Thank you for all the security patrols around our district. Again, we ask for your continued guidance and safety this night. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Pearl. Closed session reportable actions. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board, we actually do have one to report this evening. By a vote of 7-0, the board approved the settlement of a special education dispute in the matter of Student versus Madera Unified School District, OAH case number 2024-090651.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Adoption of the agenda, Ms. Elizondo.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustees, do you have any items to add or delete from the agenda? Trustee Dybert?
I don't, thank you.
Trustee Cortez?
No.
Trustee Ahmad?
No.
Trustee Fleet?
None, thank you.
Trustee Seibert? Clerk Mendoza?
None.
None for myself. Staff, do you have anything, Superintendent, do you have something to?
We do this evening. So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, staff would like to pull agenda item 10F3 from the agenda, as this item has already been approved by the trustees in the bundled contracts last spring, which was board approved on June 11th of 2024. We don't need to approve it twice. Additionally, items 10B1, that's the Ramirez lease agreement addendum number 10, and 10B3, the Ramirez lease agreement addendum number 3. Additionally, attachments have been included, so you have those now. They weren't originally included. The attachments have been made available to each of you at the dais.
Thank you. Superintendent Lyle. Ms. Elizondo, please pull the board for the record.
President Salazar, we need
And
to have a
second.
motion.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, to nominate. Trustees, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda with the motion modifications noted? Please state your name when you're making the motion and you second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to adopt the agenda with the modifications noted earlier.
Thank you.
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Trustee Dybert and second by Trustee Fleek to adopt the agenda as presented. Ms. Elizondo, please pull the board.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Annual recognition items. Approval, Superintendent Lyle, approval of the acceptance by the, you're going to read this for me?
I think this is still
Okay.
you until me in a second here.
Okay. Item number 6A, approval acceptance by the Madera Unified School District Board of Trustees of the official election summary of the consolidated general election held on November 5th, 2024 in the County of Madera, State of California, certified by the Madera County Clerk Recorder and Registrar and voters, and the certification of Israel Cortez, Ruben Mendoza, and Ray G. Seibert as governing board members of the Madera Unified School District. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, member of the board and district, just for everybody out there, this is the annual after-election reorganization meeting. It's a little bit challenging, and so we work through that, but we have to bring on our new officers who have been duly elected, and then this group will go through the process of selecting their own officers. So bear with us if you would for the next few items. So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, the district has received from our county clerk, recorder, and registrar of voters, Rebecca Martinez, the Honorable Rebecca Martinez, the certification of the appointment of the following board members following the consolidated general election held in and for Madera County on November 5th of 2024. We should note that Israel Cortez, a governing board member from Area 6, Ruben Mendoza, governing board member from Area 3, and Ray Seibert, governing board member for Area 1, have all been declared winners of their respective areas. So the board must declare, accept, and approve the results of the appointment of the trustees I just mentioned.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustees, if there are no questions, I entertain a motion to approve and accept the official election summary of the consolidated general election held on November 5th, 2024 in the County of Madera, State of California, certified by the County Clerk Recorder and Registrar of Voters. The certification of Israel Cortez, Ruben Mendoza, and Ray G. Seibert as governing board members of the Madera Unified School District. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Ahmad make a motion to approve 6A as stated.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Trustee Dybert, I second the motion.
Thank you. It has been moved by Trustee Ahmad and second by Trustee Dybert. Mr. Elizondo, please pull the board for the record.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Elizondo. Item number 6B, recognize the 2024 outgoing board president, Superintendent Lyle.
So trustees and members of the public, this is where we say thank you. And it's a little bit challenging. I really have no idea what you guys are going to do right now. I mean, maybe that's all for the best. But what I'm going to share is I'm going to share on behalf of our staff. We have had the pleasure for the last 2 years of working with a board president in Lucy Salazar, who minces no words, is completely direct and transparent, has an incredibly high level of honesty and integrity. What she says is what she does. What she does is what she values. And her attitude, her actions, and her beliefs are really aligned. I know Deputy Superintendent Schwartz and I, we have the lucky task of going into board leadership meetings and working on our agendas to make sure that they're accurate. And President Salazar asks really good questions. She keeps in mind the thoughts and the values and the questions and the interests of the board and the community. There aren't people there to see the way that she handles business, but I can tell you that the way she handles business is, if you know her, the way she handles business every day out in the general public is how she handles herself behind the scenes, with a ton of integrity, a lot of honesty, and a lot of care and compassion for the future of this community and our kids. It's been a real pleasure to work with one of the hardest working women I've ever met in my life. And I'm saying that my mom has more degrees than she should. I got to work with Gladys Dybert, who's now a trustee. I watched her work ethic, and I think that my guess is at this point, Trustee Salazar is at the very tip top of the list in my whole life of someone who works as hard as she possibly can for others. So I want to thank President Salazar for her dedication, her leadership, and her commitment to this community. The people of the community have no idea how much you have actually done for them, but our staff here in the Executive Cabinet, we know, and we salute you and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent.
And just so you know, I mean, I'm not going to give her a big hug, although I might just but she's about the business. She's not about this recognition. I don't know where that's going to go, but there's a real good chance it just goes in a box.
I just want to say thank you very much. It's been a privilege to be president for the school board and working with my fellow trustees here. And our number one mission, we all pretty much are collaborate, and we think the same is, our number one is our students, the community, and just building these students and getting the best education and preparing them for life all around. And I appreciate you guys, the communities, executive staff, teachers, classified, everybody who's part of this school district. Thank you so much.
We also have a new plaque that will be on the wall outside that commemorates all of our board presidents. And is it clerks as well, Ms. Soto? Is board presidents and clerks throughout the years from 1965, I think it starts, right? Until today. The district actually started in 1966, but the vote to unify happened in 1965, so there was work that happened prior to that. So we've done a bunch of historical work thanks to Ms. Elizondo and Ms. Martinez. We've gone back and we've figured out who they all were because we didn't have clear records of them, not in one consolidated place, but we'll honor those presidents and clerks for their leadership over time in the community, and it'll be out on the wall on a perpetual plaque. Okay, so now we move on to the oath of office. So our esteemed trustees, I want to invite trustees Cortez, Mendoza, and Seibert for the oaths of office. Trustee Seibert, you've done this now. I'm going to guess this might be time number, is it 342? I'm not sure exactly how many it is. There are redwood trees younger than his tenure as a leader in this district. Would you like to do it from where you are? Would you like to come down in front? Yes, sir. That's how we're going to do it, all three at once. But you're the senior member here, sir. Well, let's go down and we'll all, you guys can tuck in your shirts and I'll suck in my tummy. Not even half kidding. It's the holidays after all. All right, gentlemen. So this is the time when we engage in the oath of office. And I'm going to ask that you raise your right hands. And we'll do it one at a time on your name so the general public can hear it nice and clearly. So I'll say I, and then you say your name, and your name, and then we'll repeat everything together. That'd be okay? All right. So as we begin, I. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. All right, congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. It's really nice to have a stable, professional, and expert board that works really hard, knows their role, knows the right questions to ask. We're lucky. So we thank the voters of Madera. We appreciate the democratic process, and here we are. We've got a lot of work to do together. I'm glad you're back. That mental reservation part, though, that stands out for some reason. Okay. Our next item is item 6D. And 6D is our annual election of the president of the Board of Trustees. So trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second for nominations and the election of a president of the Board of Trustees. So please state your name when you're making the motion and when you second the motion.
Ruben Mendoza.
no,
Oh,
let me say it for the new second.
uh,
Trustee Salazar, I nominate Ray Seibert as president.
So we have a nomination of trustee Seibert for president. Do I have a second?
Ruben Mendoza, I second it.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded, moved by trustee Salazar, seconded by trustee Mendoza, for trustee Seibert to be the president of the board. Ms. Elizondo, please pull the board.
Trustee Castillo,
Abstain.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Abstain.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
and Clerk Mendoza.
Yes.
Superintendent Lyle, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 2 abstentions, which were the preferential votes, and 0 absent.
So with that, we have a new president of the board, trustee Ray Seibert. Now the musical chairs ensue. And President Seibert, the script is here for you, sir. I do think it should be noted, at least for posterity, that President Seibert hesitated to vote yes. He knows how much time goes into it. I noticed.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go see, we're on this one here now. Okay.
It'll all come back to him.
Okay, now we go to the annual election of the clerk of the board of trustees. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second for the nomination and election of the clerk of the board of trustees. Please state your name and when making the motion, and when you second the motion, will you vote on the first motion and second? And if the motion falls, a second motion and a second will be necessary. So do I have a motion for clerk of the board?
Trustee Fleek, I'd like to nominate Ruben Mendoza.
Do we
For
have a
clerk.
second? Trustee Ahmad, second. Trustee Ahmad is the second. Okay, all in favor? Well, we need to go individuals, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hold the board.
Okay, trustee Castillo?
No, if Maria pulls the board.
Okay.
Yes, I'll pull the board. Thank you. Trustee Castillo,
Abstain.
Trustee Cervantes,
Abstain.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Mendoza,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
and President Seibert. Okay, President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 2 abstentions, which were the preferential votes, and 0 absent.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lozano. Okay, it has been moved. Okay, now I'm. Go down to here. We were here.
They're stuck together. There you go.
Okay. We're over here?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Esteemed trustees, I introduce trustee Mendoza as your new board clerk.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. Okay, item number 6F, appointment of superintendent as secretary of the Board of Trustees. Trustees, at this time, I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the Superintendent Lyle as the secretary of the board. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to appoint Superintendent Lyle as the secretary to the Board of Trustees.
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Dybert and seconded by trustee Fleek to appoint the superintendent as secretary of the board. Ms. Elizondo, will you please poll the board?
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the 9 votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Item number 6G, approval of board president and board clerk as authorized signatures for the board approved documents as required. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second to authorize the board president and board clerk to sign board approved documents when required. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Lucy Salazar, I approve the board president and clerk as authorized signers for the board approved documents as required.
Second?
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Ahmad to authorize the board president and the board clerk to sign board approved documents when required. Ms. Lozano, please pull the board.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lozando. Item number 6H, approve the 2025 District Board Advisory Committee guidelines. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second to approve the 2025 District Board Advisory Committee guidelines. State your name when making a motion, and we second the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I move to approve the 2025 District Board Advisory Committee guidelines.
I second.
It has been moved by trustee Fleek and seconded by trustee Salazar to approve the 2025 Board Advisory Committee guidelines. Ms. Zondo, please pull the board.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Item number 6, L.
Aye.
I. Appoint trustees to 2025 District Board Advisory Committee trustees. I open the door for discussion of this item.
President Seibert. Are we gonna go down, we're gonna go down the list of the pages of the committees?
Yeah, I don't have it here. Let's see.
Okay. Do you want me to fill these out as we go?
Yes.
Okay.
When do we want to go?
This is going one at a time?
Yeah, if you want to state who's on the committee this year.
Okay, district committee and representatives. Let me look at my. Okay, we have committee representative to the Athletics Advisory Committee. Right now we have Nadim Ahmad, Joyetta Fleek, and Ray Seibert, current and alternate Israel Cortez. We want to make any changes on that?
I would like to stay on that committee.
I would like to stay on the committee as well.
Okay. Israel, you're an alternate. Do you want to be a regular member on that?
No,
Okay, then I'll stay on that committee then. I've been on that committee a long time. You want to stay as an alternate?
yes.
Okay, then let me leave that the same as it is. Now we have a representative to the board, to the Budget and Finance Committee. We have Gladys Dybert, Lucy Salazar, and Ray Seibert.
President Seibert, Lucy Salas, trustee Salas, I would like to stay in the Budget and Finance Committee.
Okay, and Gladys Dybert, trustee Dybert.
Yes, I would like to remain on that committee as well.
You want to stay on that also? And we
Yes.
have, I would like to stay on that, but if somebody else want to be on that? Okay, we'll keep that the same then. Then a representative to the Citizens Board Oversight Committee. We have trustee Cortez and trustee Salazar. Do you want to stay on there? Does anybody else want to be on that?
President Seibert, I think this was a 2-year term and we elected last year. So it's a 2-year term, so we shouldn't have to re-elect again because we did it last year for
Okay,
this, and we should think it's a 2-year term.
okay, then we'll
But I
move,
think we just want, yeah, we're fine with.
okay,
no,
then we'll
oversight.
move on then to representative to Career Technical Education Committee. We have Israel, trustee Cortez, trustee Fleek, and myself.
I'd like to stay on that committee.
I'd like to be removed from this
Going
committee.
to be removed. Okay. I like to stay on that.
President Seibert, I would like to be added to that committee.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Next, we have a representative to the English Language Learner Advisory Committee. We have trustee Cortez, trustee Dybert, and trustee Salazar.
President Seibert, I would like to remain in that committee if I may, please.
Okay.
I would like to remain as well. Thank you.
I'd like to remain as well.
Is anybody else that would want to be on that committee? Okay, we'll leave it as it is.
No hablan español.
Yeah, that's me. No habla español.
Okay. Okay, next we have representative to the Facilities Committee. We have trustee Mendoza, trustee Salazar, trustee Seibert, and alternate trustee Ahmad.
President Seibert, I would like to remain in that committee if I may.
President Sabe, I would like to see if I can be on that committee.
Be a regular member?
Yeah.
Okay. Move you up, then I'll be an alternate then. I'll probably attend, but I won't, some of those meetings, but I probably won't be able to speak up as an alternate. I want to attend those. Okay, then we have a representative to the board, the Parent Advisory Committee. We have Trustee Fleet, Trustee Mendoza,
I'd like to stay.
and Trustee Dybert. So Fleet wants to stay.
Clerk Mendoza, I'd like to stay myself, President Seibert.
Trustee Dybert.
I would like to give an opportunity to another board member since I've attended DLAC meetings and I've been attending DLAC and PAC meetings, and they pretty much talk about the LCAP and pretty much mimic each other. So if another trustee would like to learn about it, it's a good group. I really like the meetings, but I think if another trustee would like to have that opportunity, I'll step aside. I won't be a member.
Now we have an alternate, Trustee Salazar.
I could stay as alternate. If nobody else wants to be on the committee, I could move up.
Anybody else want to be in that committee?
Ahmad, do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can be on that committee.
Okay, take Dybert, put in Ahmad. Okay, next we is a representative to the Safety Advisory Committee. We have Trustee Ahmad, Trustee Fleek, and Trustee Mendoza as an alternate. I mean, we can have 3 regular members.
I'll stay on that committee.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll stay on that committee as well.
Okay, and anyone else want to be on there?
Well, it says
It
two
says
board
two
members.
board members.
Two board members. There's already 2.
Pardon?
It says 2 board members and there's already 2, and the alternate is Ruben Mendoza.
I'll
Bill,
stay.
why can't we have 3?
I don't know, I don't
think
follow,
we
I
can
don't make
have
the
3,
rules,
I
it says
mean,
2.
It says 2 on
Saying
the,
2, but
There's 2.
as long as we don't go over 4, go over 3, we're okay. So Trustee Mendoza, you want to be a member of that?
Yeah,
We'll have 3 members.
yeah. So we have an alternate open position still?
Yeah, does he want to be an alternate on the Safety Advisory Committee? Nobody's jumping at it.
I could be an alternate. I'll be an alternate.
Are you going to be an alternate? Okay.
Just don't call me.
Okay.
All right, so now we go to the representative to the Site Selection Committee. We have on the Site Selection Committee, we have Trustee Ahmad, Trustee Mendoza, Trustee Salazar, and they have me down as an alternate.
President Seibert, I would like to remain in that committee.
And Trustee Mendoza,
Yes, I'd like to remain there.
Trustee Ahmad,
I'd like to remain as well.
like to stay on there?
Yes.
Okay, we'll leave it as it is then. Now we go to representative to the Visual and Performing Arts Advisory Committee. We have Trustee Dybert and Trustee Fleek, and Trustee Salazar as an alternate.
I'd like to stay on that committee, please.
Okay, Trustee Dybert,
I would like to stay in the committee, but I would like for staff to provide us with dates way ahead of time because they only have 2 meetings in the year, and I missed one because I wasn't given enough notice. So if we can make a note of that, because there those meetings I really enjoyed, but we need to have enough notice so we can plan our calendars. Thank you.
Trustee Salazar as an alternate. You want to be just a regular member?
Yeah, because it says 3 board members.
Fine. Hey, I'm
Okay.
stepping down to be less.
Trustee Salazar, if you like, I could take that third spot,
Oh,
third
yeah.
chair.
You go
Okay.
ahead, you go for it.
Okay, I'll take the third chair.
Be a regular clerk.
You'll be a
Mendoza?
regular-
I'm gonna be, I'll take the third position.
He'll be the regular.
Okay,
And
I'll be the alternate.
It might be valuable for the public out there to know that what's happening right now is they're volunteering to give up nights after nights after nights after nights all year long. That's basically what's happening right now.
okay, now we need a representative to the Wellness Committee. We have trustee Ahmad, trustee Divert on there, and alternate trustee Fleek.
I'd like to be alternative on this committee if it's possible.
You want to be?
Okay,
Alternative on this committee.
pardon? You want to be an alternate?
Yes.
Okay. So trustee Divert,
I would like to remain in that committee.
okay,
Thank you.
and trustee Fleek, you're an alternate.
Yeah, but he just took alternate. I'll be a regular one.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we got two. Anybody else want to be on there? No, okay. So I think we're done with that.
We've got the next page.
Out-of-district committees.
LSSD.
Let me see here.
Thank you.
Okay, trustees, if there is no further comments, I entertain a motion and a
We haven't
second.
finished
We
yet.
have another page.
We have
We have
the
another page.
out-of-district committees.
I don't have another page. There we go. Okay. Is separate?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
They're all in one item, though, Mrs. Elizondo, so it should be just one motion.
This one is I, and then J is for out-of-district committees.
so, so trustees, if no further comments, I entertain a motion and a second to approve the appointments of trustees as representatives to the 2025 District Board Advisory Committees. State your name and when making the motion, and we second the motion.
Trustee Salazar approved the appointment of trustees to the 2025 District Board Advisory Committees. I so
Trustee-
move the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Fleek to approve the appointments of trustees to the 2025 District Board Advisory Committees. Ms. Elizondo, would you please poll the board?
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Item 6J, nominate and elect representatives to the 2025 elected and appointed out-of-district committees. Please note that the newly appointed board president and board clerk are automatically seated as representatives for the Madera County School Boards Association Executive Board. Therefore, nominations are not required for this particular out-of-district committee. Also, per Madera County Superintendent of Schools, the current appointment trustees to the Central Valley Education Coalition have been grandfathered into their appointed positions. No nominations are required for these seats either. Trustees, now I open the floor for discussion and nominations.
President Seibert, I guess for the California Association of Suburban School Districts, I would like to remain as one of the trustees.
Okay. Okay, we have an alternate, trustee Mendoza. Okay,
I'd like to remain as well as the alternate.
okay, and then, okay, on the Tri-Agency Committee, we have trustee Salazar and trustee Mendoza and an alternate trustee Fleek.
President Seibert, I will remain on that committee.
And trustee Mendoza,
President Seibert, I too will remain on that committee.
okay.
And I will remain alternate.
Okay. And we'll move over to Madera County Arts Authority, JPA. We have trustee Fleek, an alternate, trustee Cortez, and trustee Ahmad.
I'll stay on that committee.
Stay on there. Okay, well, anybody else wants to
I'll
fight her
stay.
for that seat?
I'll stay as a
Oh, come on.
Okay, now we'll go to Central Valley Education Coalition. We have trustee Fleek, and we don't vote on this one though. It stays, okay.
Yeah. That's because we're old, Ray.
Okay, trustees, if there's no further comments, I entertain a motion and a second to approve the nominations and the election of representatives to the 2025 elected and appointed out-of-district committees. State your name when making the motion, and we second the motion.
President Seibert, I so move the motion to nominate the elected representatives 2025 elected and appointed out-of-district committees.
Second?
Trustee
Ahmad.
Dybert, I second that.
Trustee Dyer. Okay, it has been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Dybert to approve the nominations and election of representatives to the 2025 elected and appointed out-of-district committees. Ms. Lozando, will you please pull the board?
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, 0 absent. Right. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Lozando. Now we go to item number 6K, approval of the 2025 trustee areas and school sites. Trustees, open the floor for discussion on this item. Anybody have any comments on this? Seeing none. So no further comments. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve the 2025 trustee areas and school sites. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Cortez, and I move to approve item 6K as stated.
A second?
See, Ahmad, second.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Cortez and seconded by trustee Ahmad to approve the 2025 trustee areas and school sites. Ms. Lozando, please pull the board.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential. And that was to keep them as they are, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lozando. Okay, now item number 6L, approval of the 2025 regular and closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees. I open this floor for discussion for this item.
President Seibert, I have a concern on the date for one of the meetings, and that will be for the second meeting in April. That's the week after staff returns from Easter break, if I'm not mistaken. Superintendent Lyle, is that correct? I want to make sure it's correct. And in the past, I know staff will be taking off, will be leaving that Friday. And then that week, a lot of the directors, I'm not sure, I think educational services, are they on a traditional schedule? I know classified directors probably work a year round. So that might create an issue, might create time for staff to make changes, and they won't be working that week. I think we should give our staff an extra week to prepare items, and the items don't have to be amended or corrected. I know from experience, we have experienced that in the past, and the extra cushion of time for staff really helps them. But I will like for Superintendent Lyle to chime in on that and see if staff, you feel the staff will be prepared 2 weeks before we have a board meeting with all our items in. So that's my concern. Maybe we can move it to April 29th. The way it gives staff an extra week to amend items or have another review by the president and the clerk of the agenda that's presented.
So trustee Dybert, I think, I think the staff appreciates that you're thinking about how hard it is on them to get it right, because it is a lot. I mean, these are dense packets. April is a time of a lot of board action. Would that have a knock-on effect in your proposal for the 6th of May? Would that change anything in May? Because in May, we're in the 2nd, right? We would go to the 13th. Isn't that when it's already scheduled?
The
Right.
13th.
So, I mean, I think that might work out just fine.
No, we'll have the meeting currently as a schedule, it will be on.
The 29th and then the 13th.
29th and then the
right?
13th.
Yeah.
And that's how it usually is, it just, so that's what I'm not sure what for the 29th. Because staff will, if they go on Easter break, they'll go probably that Friday, the 11th, correct? And then they'll take the whole week, plus that Monday, the 21st. Usually, isn't that how the calendar works? They get the Monday after Easter Sunday? Do they still get that?
Yeah, you have it on 29th, you'll have 2 weeks for the next meeting.
Right. I think it's up to the superintendent what he thinks, if they can pull all that agenda together.
I think that the staff thinks that we can probably pull off April as it's presented in the calendar. If the board would like us to pause and move that, we can do either. It really is up to you. You are right. It can be a challenge for everybody to get everything in even a week ahead of schedule while we're on vacation. We understand.
Because that means we will get our packets probably on the 11th or the.
We would have to move everything up. Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
right.
a week and a half at least, so.
Because the president will review the agenda like on the 9th. Right?
Correct.
And then it will get adjusted or whatever, and then the packets can go out.
Yeah, the turnaround time is quick. There's no doubt, and but we can see it coming on the calendar. There is the lead time. We've had this discussion now, so everyone can see it. Ms. Elizondo, Ms. Soto, if there's anything you'd like to contribute, I think this is a good time to do it, because you carry a lot of the weight, plus a lot of the admin assistants. Our executive cabinet is here in the room. I think they can see this coming either way we want to do it. It's
They
really
probably want to have it all done before Christmas break. They'll probably have it all done, right?
before spring break. Yes, I think we would certainly try to do everything well ahead of spring break. Yes. But Trustee Dybert makes a really good point, and
Yeah.
she's lived it. There is no doubt.
So the only ones it affects is our secretaries, right?
And our directors and our executive staff.
But they'll have it all done. Everything in basically on the 9th, right? I don't know.
Ms. Elizondo?
Well,
Of
we have
April.
our agenda review on the 9th. So everything basically will already be in, right? There's no extra work until the board meeting.
You know, we have moved the timelines up quite a bit, as trustee Dybert knows. Several years ago, we moved them up quite a bit. So I guess that kind of gives us that gives us a little bit of room since we've done that. Ms. Soto, anything? Either or? You're representing a whole lot of people who work very hard at this point.
Good evening. I think that staff is certainly prepared to make sure everything is turned in and finalized ahead of time. We have moved up our deadlines quite a bit. We've tightened up our deadlines and even our process for turning in agenda items. So I think we are well prepared to have the packet ready and available the week before spring break. And we actually do prefer to have 2 meetings in April because of staffing and the hiring that has taken place during that time. It would really help staff to be able to bring forward staffing.
So you prefer the 22nd?
We do.
I think, you know, the point about our hiring practices, I think, really matters in this one. So even though, I mean, trustee Dyber's being benevolent here, even trying to remember how to help us, but you're right, every week counts at this point, doesn't it?
It sure
It
does.
does, in the springtime.
That's another thing, because you do a lot of, you know, interviews and hiring, and I think with the Easter break, sometimes staff did not have time, did not work that week, so they do their hiring before the next board meeting. So there will still be 2 board meetings in April.
In
I'm not
April,
trying to
that's correct.
eliminate, I'm just saying move from the 22nd to the 29th to allow exactly what you're saying, because that has happened in the past, and we had to move it, or there was a special board meeting that had to happen. So I just, if staff is ready and you guys have changed your timelines, I don't have a problem. I just wanted to point it out that, you know, that's something that, to consider, because March and April are the critical months
They are,
for,
you're
you know,
right.
turnaround, so.
As the kids say, good looking out.
We do appreciate that, thank you. But we did discuss it with SEC, and they agreed to that. We could potentially have 2 board meetings in April.
So, same.
Okay, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second to approve the 2025 regular and closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Salazar, President Seibert, I so move the motion to approve the 2025 regular and closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees.
Do I have a second?
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Fleet. Approve the 2025 regular and closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees. Ms. Elizondo, will you please poll the board?
Yes, sir. And to clarify, or for the record, and that's as they are listed? on
Yeah,
here?
stay as presented.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Trustee Castillo?
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez?
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad?
Yes.
Trustee Cortez?
Yes.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes.
Trustee Fleek?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
And President Seibert?
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes, were preferential.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Item number 7, communications.
So President Seibert, I'm going to get that right. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, thanks for keeping it steady for us. I'd like to present to you the Madera Minutes, some highlights of the exciting things that have happened in the last few weeks, and there have been a lot. This has been a packed fall semester.
We start this Madera Minute with exciting news. The Torres High School boys cross country team earned third place at the California State Championships. Students Benjamin and Hunter individually placed in the top 10. Madera South High School teacher Mrs. Kristen Sheehan was honored by the National Association of Agricultural Educators as a Region 1 winner of the Outstanding Agriculture Education Teacher Award. The award selects one teacher from the 6 association regions. And let's congratulate Nishimoto Elementary School teacher Shauna Petrosian on receiving the California League of Educators Elementary Teacher of the Year Region 7 Award. Petrosian will compete for the State Elementary School Educator of the Year Award in March. The Department of Community Services and Parent Resource Centers recently celebrated the success of various parenting programs. 58 parents participated in the Parent Project and Loving Solutions courses, with 25 completing the 10-unit course. Additionally, 171 parents graduated from the PK classes, learning about high school graduation requirements and higher education. Thanks to a community school grant, family nights were held at each elementary school, attracting close to 400 parents. The centers also hosted gang prevention and anti-vaping workshops at district middle schools. Furthermore, parents visited UC Davis through the Parent Empowerment Program to explore financial assistance options and more. Mr. Felipe Mago's 6th grade Lincoln Elementary class came alive during the 28th Living Wax Museum of Ancient Egypt exhibit. Students designed their costumes based on the character assigned to present to classmates, parents, and staff. In the spirit of the holiday season, more than 450 James Madison Elementary students received a sweater thanks to the generous donation of 3 local Madera companies: Pacific Farm Management, Cal Pacific Supply Inc., and Valley Steels. Lavina Elementary School students received an early Christmas treat thanks to a special toy drive organized by the Fresno Upward Bound and the Diaz Family Foundation. They were all surprised with a gift. Madera Unified High School and Middle School bands, color guards, and cheerleaders marched into the holiday season by participating in this year's Madera Downtown Christmas Light Parade. The yearly event brings hundreds of community members to the heart of the city.
Now we go to item 7A, student and staff recognition. Okay. So what was the communications? We didn't have to cover anything on that? Okay. Okay, I got some there a minute. Okay, Superintendent Lyle. Well, you've already done that, so. Okay, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Ms. Lozando?
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold a comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lozando. Seeing or hearing no one, I close the public hearing. Item 8, student representative report. I invite Cruz to present the alternate education student board representative report.
Yes, yes, correct. Our student board representative, Julissa Cruz of Alternate Ed, was here, and she had to leave just a few minutes before you guys came back from closed session.
Okay. And then I invite Layla Wester to present the Torres High School Student Board Representative Report.
Good evening, Madera Unified School District Board President Seibert, Superintendent Lyle, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board. I'm Layla Webster here with the Toro Report. Next slide, please. Each year, just before winter break, our ASB Leadership Program takes time to show appreciation for different groups on campus, from creative appreciation posters to coffee carts and personalized letters of appreciation. We work to find ways that each of our staff members know how much they mean to us. Next slide, please.
I apologize. Could we go back one slide?
Yeah.
I just want the audience to appreciate that Mr. Mortier is a turkey. And I think Mr. Salone is too. That's I didn't want that to just miss everyone this holiday season. Thank you. I apologize, Layla. You're doing a great job.
To wrap up November, our Taurus staff hosted a secret staff spirit week. The rules were simple: dress up for each spirit day, and if students asked about it, they were to act as though they had no idea what was happening. It was a blast seeing our staff unite to show off their Taurus spirit while having fun and connecting with our student body. I saw a lot of the teachers have questionable outfits today, but I didn't care to ask. Next slide, please. Just a few weeks ago, Taurus Band and Color Guard wrapped up their 2024 marching season by attending the Band Grand Championships. In our second year, Marching Band was recognized as top 10 in the state with their 2024 show, New Dawn. We are incredibly proud of them. Next slide, please. Like the meeting minutes said, Taurus Cross Country has solidified that they are a force to be reckoned with. Our boys cross country team won their third consecutive CIF Division II Valley Championship and went on to compete at state level, taking third place for their division. We are so excited for the future of Taurus Cross Country. Next slide, please. Taurus Link Crew hosted their first annual freshman game night. The event included different activity booths and games to help our freshman students feel connected to campus, to each other, and to their Link Crew members. Next slide, please. Just last week, we hosted our first annual Bullpen Ball Fest to kick off the 2024-2025 basketball season. The event included player introductions, basketball-themed games, giveaways, food trucks, and a staff versus student game for the ages. Our Taurus staff was victorious over the student team, beating them 45-35. It was a fun night for all in attendance. Next slide, please. Taurus High School was well represented at this year's Madera Lights Parade. Taurus Band and Color Guard, cheer and dance team, as well as the CIF Championship cross country team all marched in the parade. Next slide, please. Our ASB program has been on the road these past few weeks, spreading holiday cheer at each of our Red Pyramid feeder schools. Our visits have included passing out candy canes with Tony Claus, reading holiday-themed stories, and taking over classes to facilitate holiday crafts. We have had so much fun spending time with our future Toros. Yeah, today we went to Monroe to make slime with like the sixth graders. It was really fun, but they kept like complaining like, why is my slime so hard? And I was like, it's an experiment. But yeah, next slide, please. Our FCCLA culinary students hosted their annual Cookie Night fundraiser. Families have had the opportunity to take over our culinary facility, decorating cookies, enjoying hot chocolate, and taking photos with Santa. It is always a great night of connecting and making memories. Next slide, please. Senior members of our CTE Theater Arts program traveled to Fresno State to audition and interview for acting and tech/design scholarships. All 6 students walked away receiving high praise from the panelists. Taurus was the only school in attendance representing MUSD as well. Students will find out if they receive scholarships this spring. Next slide, please. This has been a big year for our Taurus High School VAPA department. We had 10 students audition for the Fresno Madera County Honor Choir, and all 10 students were accepted. The auditions were blind. Students had to learn a piece and submit an audio recording, which was then scrubbed of any personal information and sent out to judges across the country and graded against a rubric. We are so excited to see our Toros represent at the county level in early February. Next slide, please. Last week, our Visual and Performing Arts Department hosted its annual Winter Showcase, featuring incredible performances by our choir and instrumental music programs, along with a stunning art gallery showcasing student-produced work. The event was a huge success, with a fantastic turnout from our Toro community. It was truly inspiring to witness the amazing talent our school has to offer. Next slide, please. Here are our coming events. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Webster. A lot of great activities going there. Okay, and number 9, student board member information and report. Trustee Cervantes Hernandez, I invite you to share your report with the board.
Good evening, President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and distinguished guests. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Stallions have been incredibly active this first semester, and as it comes to a close, I would like to share some recent highlights. We held our winter showcase where visual art students exhibited their work. Our girls and boys cross-country teams advanced to the state level, and the boys wrestling team celebrated their senior night with the victory. This December, seniors focused on and submitted their graduate profiles. The Madera South cheer team tied with the Madera High this week, and this week we'll be hosting our dress-up days. And as the holidays approach, various campus organizations have initiated fundraising and donation drives to give back to the community. From Little Stallions collecting socks and other items for children, to FCCLA gathering socks and mittens for the kids at Alpha, to Skills USA organizing a toy drive, and the Health Pathway collecting activity books, clothes, and other items for residents at the Madera Rehab Center. Stallions have also been receiving gifts and wishes from Stanley through Stanley's Season of Giving. And once again, as you all know, Ms. Sheehan was honored by the National Association of Agricultural Educators as the winner of the Outstanding Agricultural Education Teacher Award. The civics class has commenced their civic responsibility projects, where students create initiatives to improve both our communities inside and outside of school, such as the revitalization of downtown Madera. And as the year concludes, we have revisited some improvements, such as student connections to safety officers and the efficiency of our breakfast lines. Our videography students assessed our breakfast lines and our implementations, and our civic students gathered survey data, and it was found that most students are working on connecting with security, and some student responses were that they like security because they are respectful and they ask how you're doing and they have conversations with you. The videography class has provided us with the video where students navigated breakfast lines. This video shows our breakfast lines taking 5 minutes, which is different from the beginning of the semester, in which the lines took 8 minutes and 45 seconds. I would like to thank our civics class and our videography class for offering crucial insight into the success of our new implementations. Thank you. This concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Cervantes Hernandez. You're Madera South High School? Yes. Okay. And our next report is from Trustee Castillo, I invite you for your report. You're in Madera High School. Okay.
Good evening, fellow President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, fellow trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the audience. I am pleased to be here tonight and to report all the wonderful things that have been happening over the past month at Madera High School. This week is the infamous finals week for all high schools throughout the district. Despite the stress and worry of this week, our leadership team created 12 Christmas-themed dress-up days to help alleviate the pressure. Yesterday, we experienced the most participation with our pajama day. Everyone is working hard toward a restful break. Throughout the month, we've had numerous activities and events, all with positive feedback and impressive attendance. Last Wednesday was Madera High's Coyote Tree Lane. There, community members were able to take pictures with Santa, which was an activity directed by our drama department, capture and keep memories in the photo booth, drink hot chocolate, and listen to our MHS band play while watching our Folklorico dancers perform. This most recent Saturday was the Madera High Winter Formal. Our theme was Masquerade. Students had a blast with our free photo booth, amazing DJ, who was open to song requests, much appreciated, and our snack and refreshment table, almost all planned and provided by our ASB team. Thank you to them. As for sports, MHS welcomes boys and girls soccer, basketball, and wrestling seasons, as well as competitive show cheer. Our boys basketball team won their game against Sierra Vista yesterday, boosting their record to 8 wins out of their 12 games. Competition show cheer also won first place at their competition last Saturday. Regardless of records, our athletes keep their spirits high and look forward to perseverance and growth. I am honored to be able to share this information with you all and hope you all enjoy your holidays. Thank you for your time and Merry Christmas.
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless the member of the board or staff requests specific items be considered and discussed separately and/or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items, and each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
Okay, I now open the consent agenda for public comment. Ms. Elizondo?
If you wish to address the board on an item included in the consent agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board on this at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing no one come forward, I close the public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion and when seconding the motion. Do I have a?
President Seibert, Trustee Salazar so moved to approve the consent agenda as stated.
Do I have a second?
Clerk Mendoza, I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Trustee Salazar and seconded by Trustee Mendoza to approve the consent agenda. There is one resolution in the consent agenda. Ms. Elizondo, please poll the board.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for their service, not only to Madera Unified, but also for their service and commitment to Madera community. Laura Tony, Coordinator of College Career Readiness, will retire on March 19th, 2025, after 35 years of service. And also Terry Stroud, Special Services Supervisor at Trial Nutrition, will retire on December 27th, 2024, after 30 years of service. And we also have Rosemary G. Angeles, Child Nutrition Assistant. 2 at Millview, will retire on December 26, 2024, after 28 years of service. And Juvenal Vera, a mechanic specialist at Transportation, will retire December 31st, 2024, after 25 years of service. Teresa De La Haya, Child Nutrition Assistant 2 at Lincoln, will retire on December 20th, 2024, after 22 years of service. And Jose C. Torres, Custodian at Berenda Elementary, will retire on December 30th, 2024, after 17 years of service. So if you-
President Seibert, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, cut in front of Superintendent Lau. But anyway, I just want to acknowledge that these retirees has some extensive time there. So I would like to ask for a round of applause for all of them and wish them well.
So,
Okay.
President Cyber, just because I just did it for just fun, I wanted to share with you just how many years of service combined is that? It's 157 years of service. So that takes us back to like the Civil War. So congratulations.
All right, thank you. Okay, information and reports, item number 11.
So President Cyber and Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have Deputy Superintendent Schwartz here and his team for this particular item. It was requested by the previous board leadership to just make sure that we closed this year with a clear understanding amongst our trustees and the public with all the work that we're doing currently. So Mr. Schwartz, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, so good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, trustees. As Superintendent Lyle mentioned, we're bringing this item before you this evening at the board's request. We'll go ahead, next slide. So what we're going to be looking at is some of the large-scale projects that are currently under construction, in the bidding process, or waiting for final approval from DSA. So the projects that fall into those categories are King Hussein School, which you know is currently under construction and moving fast and furiously. I was surprised today, I think, as was Director Cox, that our DSA inspectors weren't real happy when they found out that they had to be out on site Christmas Eve because we're doing some footing pours. They're doing a bunch of concrete pouring on Christmas Eve. So they're pushing, trying to make sure that they stay on schedule and try to get ahead of schedule. So that's under construction. Our universal TK classrooms at 4 sites are all currently under construction. Madison Elementary 2-story academic building finally got final stamped approved plans about a week ago, and it is out to bid right now, so it's fast tracked. ELOP middle school athletic field improvements, phase 1, which is the tracks and some of the flat work where we had to spend that money by the end of this fiscal year. That is currently out to bid. Madera High School stadium modernization is at DSA still. We're anticipating getting that in the next couple of months, coming out with approved stamped drawings. And then finally, our child nutrition production kitchen modernization is in progress, under construction. So in just a moment, Director Cox and George Cummings will be up here to talk in more detail about some of those projects. Not all of them, but they'll talk about King Hussein, the TKs, Madison, and Madera High School stadium modernization. We've included in this presentation our project timelines. These are our current, most up-to-date timelines. As you know, just a slight change in any of these areas throws our schedules off. But what you're looking at for each of those projects in the yellow is our design phase. And that includes the development of ed specs, programming, schematic design, elevations, construction documents. That's when the architect and their consultants are doing a lot of their work. The orange bar there shows the time that these projects have been in DSA or are anticipated to be in DSA. Let me tell you that this is a moving target, and I know you guys hear DSA, DSA, DSA all the time from us. I can tell you a specific example there. Madison Elementary School, we anticipated that to be at DSA for review for 4 to 5 months. It was like 10 months. So what we're finding is there's so many projects in the queue that they're having a hard time keeping up. In fact, King Hussein project, all of our projects typically go through the DSA office in Sacramento because they're in our region. They're so busy, they forced that project to be pushed down to the San Diego office. So we're making that adjustment in all of our timelines for future projects, anticipating a few extra months for DSA. The green lines up there are the bid and award of the bid. That's when it comes to you after we go through the bidding process. And then the lighter blue shades is the actual construction piece, and the light blue is the move-in time frame. And then there's another blue bar under the DSA. That's when we're getting CDE, or the California Department of Education, approvals. And then you see the red line going through the project timelines there, that vertical line. That's obviously where we're at today. So you can see where we're at on all of those projects. So currently we have 6 active construction sites. And in the spring, in just a few months, I know these two are not looking forward to it, but we will have 12 active construction sites throughout the district with approximately $197 million in construction. So I'm going to turn it over to, I believe Rosalind's going to go over the King Hussein project. And I think you guys have another little handout up there. I'll let her explain it.
Good evening, President Seibert, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle. Thank you, Deputy Superintendent Schwartz. I am going to start off with our largest project, King Hussein. And hopefully you have in front of you this little project booklet that Darden put together for us for you to keep and for your reference on the project. So the school consists of 10 buildings, with the buildings listed here. The school itself sits on approximately 23.75 acres. And as you know, construction started this past August, and completion is anticipated for June of 2026. And so I'll run through each building briefly. So building A is our administration building, and it consists of the reception front office area, offices for our principal and vice principal, as well as offices for our counselors and security. It also includes the nurse's office, conference rooms, staff break room, and a workroom. The north part, so this is the north part of the building, so the area in orange is the library. It includes a large area for our book stacks and various seating areas, as well as a young readers area, a textbook and tech storage, and then a flex classroom lab similar to what we have at Virginia Lee Rose. Building B, that is our multi-purpose building. It consists of a large stage. You can see right here, number 2. And that can also be opened up on the back side. So back here, it can be opened up to the exterior amphitheater, so multi-use there. It includes music classrooms for band and choir, along with practice rooms. In the middle of the building, so all this area right here, is the kitchen and serving areas to support TK through 6th grade. So the servery for TK through 6th grade would be here, and then the servery for 7th and 8th would be on that side. Adjacent to the 7th and 8th grade eating area is an outdoor covered play area. So that is this area right here. So it's an outdoor covered play area for basketball, volleyball, other sports, with some bleachers for the spectators. Building C, that is our primary classroom. So it consists of 8 total classrooms for TK and kindergarten, as well as 1 special ed classroom. Each classroom has a restroom. There is a teacher work storage area between each of the classrooms. There is also a separate playground just to the south of this building, along with the preschool classrooms. Then we have buildings D and E. Those have the exact same floor plan. So building D will house our 1st and 2nd grade students. Building E will house our 3rd and 4th grade students. These buildings also include a classroom for special education,
student restrooms, as well as a teacher workroom area and conference room for collaboration and various meetings. Building F, that is for our 5th and 6th grade students. It has as you can see here, a little bit of a larger hallway, and that's for collaboration and small group instruction. It also includes a special special education hub is what we call it, and it includes rooms for speech, psychologists, and a classroom. And then again, it includes that teacher workroom conference room area. Building G is for our 7th and 8th grade students. It's on the west side of the campus. It has, again, a larger hallway for collaboration, small group instruction. Each of the classrooms here include 2 sinks to support the science curriculum. It also includes, again, a special ed and RSP classrooms, an area for the vice principal, and again, the same teacher workroom setup as the other buildings. There you can see a rendering, as I mentioned here, that larger hallway for collaboration. Building H is what we're calling our specials building. So that is in the middle of the campus, so easily accessible for our lower grades and our upper grades. And this building houses our art and STEM classrooms. These classrooms are larger than our typical classrooms, and they also have an outdoor area for their respective needs. So you can see here, the CTE has a covered yard, and then over here, the art has an outdoor covered yard. And then finally, for building J, that is our field house, and that's on the south end of the school, closer to the play fields. This building includes a snack bar, sports equipment storage, a PE office, restrooms for all the various athletic events. And so that is a very brief summary of the King Hussein School. We'll be moving on next to our new 2-story academic building at Madison Elementary School. So this new building will be located on the east side of the campus. So right here. And we've expanded the parking lot area. So we've included more parking and a student drop-off pickup area. As far as the schedule, design with PBK Architects took approximately 6 months. But as Deputy Superintendent Schwartz mentioned, unfortunately, DSA took a lot longer than we anticipated, approximately 10 months for review and approval. We did finally receive DSA approval, and so we are out to bid. And I'll be bringing back the bid to the January 28th board meeting for your approval. And then construction would begin late February and is anticipated to take approximately 13 to 15 months. So we're looking at approximately May 2026 of completion. As far as the building itself, the first floor consists of 3 classrooms for 6th grade students. It also includes a classroom for art and a classroom for STEM, as well as an administration area. And that includes offices for conference room, and staff workroom. It also includes a snack bar serving area, as well as student restrooms here and a staff restroom here, as well as our elevator. The second floor includes 3 classrooms for 7th grade and then 3 classrooms for 8th grade, as well as, again, student and staff restrooms, office, and a storage. The total approximate square footage of the building is about 14,500 square feet. Here is just a rendering of the back side of the building, and as you can see here, we are utilizing every area that we can for storage. So you can see we're utilizing some storage here under the stairs. This is a view from Santa Cruz Street. And so we've added a student drop-off and pickup area off of Santa Cruz, as well as the one in the parking lot that I mentioned previously. And then finally, here's another view from the backside. We will install a shade structure off of the snack bar serving area. And so that will seat all of the 6th through 8th grade students. And that's approximately 36 by 72 feet. And now I will have George come up, and he is going to talk about our UTK project and briefly talk about our Madera High School Memorial Stadium modernization project.
Thank you, Rosalind. President Lyle, Superintendent Lyle, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, and board members. It's my privilege to share with you an update on the UTK projects. 4 sites were selected for the initial rollout of the UTKs in Madera Unified. They are Lincoln, Pershing, Alpha, and Rose Elementary Schools. Each site is going to get 2 classroom buildings. Each classroom building is equipped with 33,480 square feet. They each have 2 classrooms. Each classroom has a student restroom in those classrooms. There's a teacher support space in between the 2 classrooms. Over on your left, you'll see adequate TK storage. And then each site will have 1 staff restroom to serve both buildings. And also 1 play structure will be added to each site. Next slide, please. I said that each site is getting 2 new TK classrooms, but Lincoln is actually getting a 3rd building, and that is a result of we replaced 2 kinder classrooms that were being housed in portables, so we replaced those 2 portables. So Lincoln is actually getting 3 buildings. And currently Lincoln the structural steel is nearly complete. Wall panels and installation has begun, so if you're driving down Sunset, you'll see some real visible progress. And then the roof panels and assembly will follow after the holidays. Next slide, please. Okay, moving across town to Pershing Elementary School. The footings for both buildings have been poured. The underslab plumbing and electrical are nearly complete. Rock and underslab vapor barrier are to follow. The concrete slab placement when this was being published, was going to be mid-January, but if things hold steady through the holidays, that concrete slab should be poured by December 31st. Next slide, please. Moving down south to Alpha Elementary School, the footings for both buildings will be poured December 23rd. Underslab plumbing and electrical are ongoing. The rock and vapor barrier will precede the concrete placement, which is expected now early to mid-January. And then Alpha is currently tracking about 10 days behind Pershing. Next slide, please. And then swinging back up to Rose Elementary, both footings for both buildings should be poured by early to mid-January. Underslab plumbing and electrical will follow. Rock and vapor barrier will be installed prior to the concrete slab, which should be now mid to late January. And Rose, like Alpha, is following Pershing. Rose is following Alpha and tracking about 10 days behind. Next slide. Now we move on to Memorial Stadium, which is taking 2nd place to our largest current project, only to King Hussein. And one of the things I wanted to note was that this includes the field house in the southwest corner of the stadium. The field house was submitted to DSA before the main modernization of the stadium was submitted to DSA. We anticipate approval on the field house from DSA in mid-January. We also anticipate the initial DSA comments coming back for the major modernization of the stadium this week sometime. PBK Architects are working to gain DSA approval. Upon DSA approval, the project will immediately go out to bid. After bid and award, construction is anticipated to start in the spring of 2025. Next slide, please. One of the things I wanted to highlight in the site plan is that we are moving the home side, which is in the south right now, to the north side. We are improving and reconstructing the entrance along Olive. The new long jump lanes on the right-hand side. Those have been relocated out of the track area over to the right-hand side. And then as we swing down to the bottom, we are going to add increased visitor capacity, as well as some practice and warm-up lanes just behind those, kind of making use of that dead space that has lived there for several years. And then finally, as we swing around to the southwest corner of the building, a new women's field house. Next slide, please. Okay, so I just want to refresh our memory of the floor plan. This is a locker room and concession buildings that are going to live under the new home side bleachers. And as we start on the left, there's going to be an ample concessions area. As we move to the right, this is more back of house area. We have laundry, storage, data rooms. And then as we continue to sweep right, we have the public restrooms. That blank space next to the public restrooms is a team room / tutorial center. It will be equipped with all the equipment of a classroom, but there is no educational programming currently planned for that. As we continue to move to the right, this is a therapy room where athletes can be prepped prior to game and also receive treatment for any athletic injuries. And then the building on the right, you'll see there are 2 locker rooms. The first locker room is the JV locker room. The locker room far this right is the varsity locker room, and those are separated by restrooms and also coaching offices. Each of those locker rooms are outfitted with a bank of shower stalls. And I think that's it for that one. Next slide, please. This is the rendering of the track and field that are being resurfaced. The field is going to get new turf, and the track, all-weather track, will be ground down and replaced with Madera, true Madera colors. Next slide, please. And then this is the entrance that fans will be welcome to at the front of the stadium off of Olive. Next slide. And this is a bird's eye view of the stadium from the northwest corner. One of the things I wanted to highlight is with all of this work that is going on, we are going to have to relocate many of the memorials. They will be spruced up and rehabilitated in that relocation, and we are intentionally moving them to this memorial plaza at the front entrance to really bring them into the consciousness of the community so that every game and activity, people will be able to engage those memorials. Next slide, please. And this is the women's field house. Next slide. And we'll just run through, we'll start, just to refresh our memory on the floor plan, we'll start in the upper left with the concessions that will serve the visitors side for football and soccer events, but also is situated to serve the softball complex as well. And as we sweep right clockwise, we have a soccer room, locker room that has an associated coach's office next to it. As we continue to move right, we have a team room. And then we have more office space. And then again, we have a therapy room for student athletes to receive treatment. And then a storage facility. And then where the laser pointer is going to be a state-of-the-art weight room. It's been pretty exciting to talk about the possibilities of the equipment that's going in there and to see the expertise from our coaching staff to be able to give our women the best equipment and facility that we can. As we swing around to 6 o'clock, this is the softball locker room. Again, it has its coach's office adjacent to it. And then we swing around and hit the public restrooms and then more backup space right before we hit the concession stand. And you'll see in the middle between the 2 locker rooms is a shared shower and restroom facility. And I think that brings us to the conclusion of our presentation. Thank you.
May I ask a question? What's going to be underneath the bleachers on the visitor side?
There will be storage. It is planned to have storage under there for mostly the track equipment that was
All the stuff
originally.
that's out now?
Yes, yeah, the high jump pits, hurdles and that sort of thing. Stuff that doesn't do well in the sun, we'll be able to house that under the visitor bleachers.
So that's just mainly storage for all the stuff that's.
Yeah, no buildings.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 11B1, educational services.
I have some questions.
Yes.
On the Madison buildings, you said till spring, May, spring. So that means the seventh graders will never be able to be housed in those buildings at all.
That's correct.
I also have a question. Would that be after graduation?
When Madison's building will be complete?
No, when
Oh,
the
Madera.
Memorial Stadium.
Memorial Stadium. We're
Most likely demo's gonna happen before graduation.
we're looking at
Okay.
mid-May.
Okay, then we move on to 11B1. Everybody ready? Okay, educational services, Future Farmers of America Annual Informational Update. Superintendent Lyle?
So President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board, we have Director McKenna here from our College and Career Readiness Department. This is an annual update, and we look forward to it because these guys make us proud. Ms. McKenna?
Thank you. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and Superintendent Lyle. This is also my favorite night because I get to do this much talking. I am actually going to introduce to you two of our students tonight, and they're going to do the majority of the talking about the FFA chapter updates as well as some successes. So it is my honor to introduce Vice President of Madera FFA, Saraí Madrez, as well as the reporter, Brianna Ramirez. Ladies.
Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and Superintendent Lyle. I'm Brianna Ramirez, Madera FFA's chapter reporter.
And I am Saraí Madriz, the first vice president.
Some background on our ag program. Our ag program has over 9 ag teachers who teach over 7 different pathways ranging from ag fabrication, ag business, plant and animal science, and power mechanics, with over 40 classes to prepare these students for college and career-ready skills.
Agriculture education is built off of the 3-ring model. This is classroom instruction, supervised agriculture experience, and FFA leadership. This 3-ring model was put in place to ensure membership success. In this presentation, you'll be seeing how our chapter incorporates this 3-ring model.
As bringing back, a lot of our students leave these pathways with career-ready skills that they could use in college or in future career. A lot of our successes come out from our ag fabrication pathways or animal science pathways.
Our program offers 3 dual enrollment courses, 3 ROP courses, and through these courses, like our fabrication, we're able to use our school farm to repair and build things, as well as our animal science pathway goes out to the farm and incorporates what they learn into our breeding project of sheep.
Where in this project, students are able to learn through hands-on experiences of how to ultrasound sheep, manage their husbandry of the animals, and overall get to learn how to work with the younger lambs. Sorry. Our members have lots of access to leadership opportunities. For example, some of our members have 3 offices that they could apply for. Some of them being from our 8th grade Math Tech lab, applying for the Discovery, our freshmen with the Green Hand, and our sophomore through seniors applying for chapter offices. Although officers' teams may not be the only leadership events, there are many leadership conferences all throughout the state that our members like to take advantage of.
Our chapter has monthly meetings to allow members to mingle with each other. We also have section activities that our sectional officers and sectional team puts on. One example of this is we just went to the Luminature Zoo. This meeting was pretty cool because in the section we have 13 other students, and it's pretty cool to see how our members will have friends all across our section and just get to meet people from everywhere. We also have leadership conferences available to all our members, as well as community involvement. One of our biggest examples of this is our Ag Literacy Days. Here we have around 1,600 students all around Madera, from pre-K all the way to we have members from pre-K all the way to elementary come and just learn about the importance of agriculture. One of our members' favorite things in our program is our career development events, where these students come along with different teams, study for a period of time with an ag teacher who coaches our respective team, and travel the state of California competing at different colleges and high schools. Last year, we had 5 teams place in the top 5 at the state of California state finals. A lot of our member involvement and success come from our supervised agriculture experiences. Within 70% of our members in placement projects. And honestly, what's pretty sweet about our projects is these students have access to a 20-acre school farm where lots of projects come cost-free, including our cooperatives, where students get to work with chickens in a chicken coop, and they get to collect their eggs and sell them where they make profit. Our sheep cooperative, where we work with the rams and breeding ewes and come together as a team to work through each breeding season. And our horse cooperative, where we get to learn how to ride with horses and treat and care for them. As well as our crops cooperative, which is our most known, for our sweet corn sales and pumpkin sales, where a group of 8 students will come together in the start of summer and finish the project out through end of November. Some of new projects that we have so far is our campus beautification, where we work closely with Madera South, as well as our Ag Action and Communications. This is a weekly newscast that our reporter and our chaplain comes out with a video. It kind of just informs members of what happened the week before and the week prior, or the week that's gonna come up. It's a fun way to really get members to know what's going on within our chapter. It's pretty funny because our reporter and our chaplain get to wear costumes and say corny jokes just to kind of make sure that they're capturing the members' attention and truly know that they're really getting the information that is coming from those videos. A fun thing, or a really cool fact, is that we post those on YouTube, so it's free for everybody to see, not just our members. It's under the name Madera FFA if you like to check that out. We also have the opportunity in our school farm to let members raise animals in our county fairs, the Madera and Chowchilla Fair. This is animals ranging from as large as a dairy heifer and a steer all the way down to a rabbit. It's kind of just what members feel closer to and what really want to work with. We also have members who go to the state fair and take those animals that they have raised and get to show them there. This last year, we had a very successful state conference. We had 3 proficiency winners, Kayla Macedo in Ag Communications, Ethan Turrell in Ag Mechanics Design and Fabrication. We also had William Thompson in the Diverse Horticulture. Here we have 2 of our members, Kayla and Ethan. We also had our very own state placement in the State Star, Morelia Viera. Fun fact, this is the 2nd time we have won as a chapter, and Morelia is one of 4 girls in the 94 years that FFA has been happening. While we had a great state conference, we also had a great national convention. Our chapter is extremely proud to have had 3 national finalists, with 2 of them being high school students, which being a national finalist at the high school level is quite a hard thing to accomplish. and having a first in our chapter history with Arturo Madriz being an American Star finalist. We also had our finalists being Kayla Macedo in Ag Communications, as well as Ethan Turrell in Ag Mechanics Design and Fabrication, and William Thompson in Diverse Horticulture. It is truly an honor to be a finalist. The American degree is the highest degree that anybody in FFA can get. We had an honor to have 13 different members to receive this award. On the screen, you can see the accomplishments they all have had. It is truly an honor to be this and such an accomplishment, and we are honored to add them to our history. While having great students comes from having great ag teachers. Our ag department headed out to the CATA Awards, where lots of our ag teachers won awards at the sectional and regional level in their respected pathway, as well as our ag department winning the San Joaquin Regional Outstanding Department of 7, which is a huge accomplishment. We also have our very own Miss Sheehan win the 2024 Outstanding NEE Ag Education Teacher. Once you step into her classroom, you can truly see the passion that she has for teaching and for her students, and it was not a surprise for us to see that she won. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, we would love to answer them.
Congratulations, Ms. Sheehan.
Thank you.
And I'll take just a moment to kind of capture a couple things. As you guys know, in May, we brought our state winners up in front of you. And so Kayla and Ethan, I'm going to have you guys stand up again next to me. From state, they got to compete against the other states in the Western region. And they were the Western region finalists and got to go back to Indianapolis at the end of October. And so they've already gotten their cords to wear at graduation, but we are extremely humbled. To win a proficiency while you're still in high school isn't a very common thing. Usually it's graduates. And so they're both seniors this year at Madera South. So we congratulate you, and we're proud of your accomplishments and can't wait to see what you continue to accomplish.
Congratulations.
And then the next one, I'm going to ask Ms. Sheehan to come up with me. And so we've probably seen it a few times now between the Madera Minutes and publications and everything. I had the honor of working with Kristen side by side in the classroom. And when you talk about teachers that are mentors to you, Kristen is one of those to any teacher that walks through her classroom, myself personally, as well as countless student teachers. And for her to get the opportunity and the well-deserved recognition by the National Association of Agricultural Educators as the Region 1 National Ag Teacher of the Year was quite the accomplishment. Mr. Steinmetz and I got to go to San Antonio, Texas a few weeks ago to see her get that award in person. And that's the first time in chapter history. So she does not like that she's on the air team across the district now.
Sorry about that.
But she is well deserving. And we congratulate Kristen and thank you for everything you do for our students and our staff.
Ms. McKenna, though, before we go.
Yep.
Would you roll back the tape just a bit and recall the vet science national champions and how that happened? Just refresh the board's memory, because I'm going to guess that they might want to remember this moment.
Sure. So a few years ago, if you don't remember, Ms. Sheehan was our coach. They won state here in California. Kristen has been competitive in just about everything she's coached, and she hates being bragged on, but I'm going to do it for a moment anyways. Prior to her coaching vet science, she coached Best Informed Green Hen for years and was one of those coaches that people all throughout our state reached to and wanted to beat because she was always at the top. She decided to take on vet science when that was a new competition, and she's been consistently in the top 5 for years. A few years, 3 years ago now, her team won state and went to nationals. And I remember sitting in Cheryl's office watching the live stream of the awards, and there was a bunch of us in there, and we weren't sure. Like, we knew they were in the top 5, and then they announced like the 5th place. All of a sudden, all of our kids are in the top, right? And so we're like, oh my God, we won! Like, there's no way not to win with this many individuals in the top 5. And so that was an exciting moment. They were the national champion vet science team, and continued to be competitive since.
Don't miss why that was special beyond just the championship. Do you remember?
I'm missing something.
I bet Ms. Sheehan remembers. That was the first all-female team ever to win in the history of FFA. And they were, if I'm not mistaken, all multilingual students.
Yes.
As well. First time ever that had happened in the history of FFA. So like this is a breakthrough. This is a breakthrough moment for the nation, for the state, but led by Ms. Sheehan and Madera FFA.
So we thank her for all of her contributions to our kids, and we know that there's more to come. So congratulations, Kristen.
Thanks for letting us embarrass you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Director McKenna. I just want to say that, you know, over the years, the Ag Department is always the what are you going to call it? The star career school that we modeled everything else from. Because now we have all these other career schools that we didn't have years ago. And everything's modeled off the FFA plan, with the way you guys create the FFA. I don't know how to say that, but they have FFA has a model, and that's the model we use throughout the district now. And all your FFA teachers put in a lot of time, a lot of extra work, and we really appreciate it.
We see you back there, Luxon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mrs. Luckton does a really great job. She always has winning teams. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone.
Okay, moving on to item 11C, union time. At this time, I invite the presidents of the unions to address the board. Mr. Holder.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, board members, Superintendent Lyle. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying congratulations to newly seated President Seibert, continuing Clerk Mendoza, and all the best to outgoing President Salazar. And just in closing here, wish each of you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your families, and best wishes into the new year, coming new year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Holder. Any other union presidents?
No, President Seibert, we do not have.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent time.
So President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, I have 3 items, 2 quick and one's going to take a second. First, I attended the California League of Educator Awards over the last couple of weeks, 3 consecutive Mondays in a row. I want to thank all 3 of our finalists. They were fantastic. They represented their schools. Actually, there were 4 finalists. They represented their school incredibly well. We did have Ms. Shauna Pedrosian from Nishimoto Elementary School present a speech, and her combined application score helped her be the elementary educator of the year for the California League of Schools. That's 2 times in a row for us. You may remember Ms. Ochoa had that honor last year. Ms. Pedrosian has it this year, and it is a really incredibly honorable distinction. Really great night, and I want to thank Clerk Mendoza and Trustee Fleek for attending to dignify the event. It was a lot of fun. We got to eat the same thing over and over again. However, it was a great night, each of the 3. I, along with several former and current staff members, attended the Golden Bell Awards, which took place during CSBA's annual conference. Was that 2 weeks ago now? I guess it was 2 weeks ago. Madera Unified received a Golden Bell Award for our classified personnel professional development conference. Retired director Isabel Barreras had this vision a long time ago, and she and a committee brought it to life, and they played an instrumental role in achieving it. I want to thank them. That is the first time that we have gotten a Golden Bell since either 99 or 2000. So it's been a while. We've been in the wilderness. So congratulations to them for helping us achieve a really powerful distinction. We appreciate it. And then last, I wanted to share with the trustees a little bit about what's going to happen right when we come back from our winter break. Now, Coyotes and Stallions, you don't have to worry about this. All right? You don't have to worry about this. However, if you're a Jaguar or you're a Longhorn or you're a Patriot, this is probably not your favorite item. So our district's been working on the implementation of the Disconnect to Reconnect initiative. This past September, Governor Newsom signed Assembly Bill 3216, the Phone Free School Act, that requires every school district to adopt a policy limiting or prohibiting the use of smartphones by July 1st of 2026. So we're going a little bit early, just so we're all aware here. In response, the district has been actively working to implement phone-free learning. And beginning in January of 2025, we have what are called Yonder pouches. It's a company we're working with. And they'll be introduced at each of our comprehensive middle schools and MTech. Before I go on any further, I want to thank Student Family Support Services and the area assistant superintendents for combining the effort to really lead this and get the information out and hold 4 town halls over the last 2 months to try to get the word out and help us understand. I want to thank our communications department for getting the word out. And let me tell you a little bit about what that's going to look like. So all pouches and magnets have been distributed to each middle school, including MTech. All staff and admin have been trained to support the implementation, or they will be trained if they haven't been yet. And Yonder has conducted an in-person site visit to each of the sites to provide feedback. Now, this is the company, and sometimes we've heard about this a little bit. They were cited by the governor and by the State Board of Education because they've been working with other districts. Locally, Bullard High School has been really well covered for their work on this over the last 3 school years. 2 or 3 school years, which is it? 3, yeah, I think we're there in year 3 at this point. So the first one I'm going to pass around is a Velcro pouch. This one is utilized for those students who use their phone for medical conditions. Let's imagine they maybe have a glucose monitor on their shoulder and they need to take readings because they have diabetes. Well, they'll have this pouch and it won't be magnetically sealed, but it'll be sealed by Velcro. So I'm gonna pass that around. You feel how they work. You guys want to start on this end? So this is, to make this really a quick demonstration, the locking mechanism on the pouch is here, and when you tap it against this, it either opens or closes it. It's an electromagnet, and it's either seals or opens depending on the setting. So at the beginning of the day, when students walk through our Evolve system, they will show that their pouch is full, and they will lock it. On the way out, at the end of the day, they will tap it to unlock it. Go ahead and take a look at that. You can see it. The magnet is relatively sturdy, pretty, not overly heavy, but it's sturdy. And there'll be several magnets on campus, and they'll be utilized by the staff to either lock or unlock. Student lessons have been provided in the month of December to try to help everyone understand what is about to happen. You pass that around so you can feel it. And we've had those town hall meetings, as I alluded to a minute ago, and we'll be launching this in our very first week back in January. So the communication team has recorded and produced several videos to help the district communicate the importance of creating a phone-free learning environment for students and staff. The videos are meant to inform parents of what to expect when their child returns to school in January, and the videos will be published through our typical means in media and communication. The videos also be shared with our trustees via our board newsletter. Okay, that was a lot. Let me give you just a little bit more that might help you. A frequently asked question is, what happens in a school emergency? Tear it open or cut it with scissors. It's okay. It's just a pouch. Right? We're not going to sacrifice anyone's safety over the small price tag of a pouch or a group of pouches. That is not a big deal. That is not what this is for. It's not to hamper our emergency response. In fact, we have telephones in every classroom in the district, every classroom. And for 120 years, schools have been receiving parent phone calls to our front office to communicate with their children. You may remember that from back in the old days of the 20th century. We've been doing this for a really long time. So that, although that's a new reintroduction of an old set of systems, we'll get good at it. It may take a bit of time. Another question that we sometimes receive is, well, what happens if we catch a kid who has something other than their active cell phone in there? Well, then we have a contingency plan. Several other districts just make kids go to the front office and they get a plastic bag, which gets labeled, and this gets recorded, and their family gets notified that they're cheating. And that's not like something we wouldn't expect. Kids have been always kids. I may or may not have broken a rule or two in my day. But we will help our parents understand that that's not acceptable. What we're looking for is an environment where our students are not, where they're getting a chance to grow up with more privacy than they currently have with everything being posted online. We want our students to be able to go to school and not worry about somebody filming or taking photos of them. We want our teachers to be able to count on students attending to the lesson that's been prepared for them with all the extra time and training that we have provided our staff and all their really good intentions. They're trying to break through and create a new and more dynamic environment where we get better outcomes. Cell phones are a barrier to that. We need to remove it, especially with our youngest students in middle school, where we know executive function and good decision making is really challenging. We've seen that over time. Every psychologist in the world would agree that the middle years are really challenging for students. So we really feel like to start this where it's most important, where students already have some better habits coming out of our elementary schools, where not every student has a cell phone just yet, because not every family has committed to that. We want to help remove the cell phone as a constant addiction and barrier to learning. So we're going to be working really hard on this. We expect it to not be seamless. We expect to learn by doing. We have learned a lot from Yonder. Bullard will be a supporter of us, as they have been to many other schools. And we have some really smart people here in the room, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Marshall, who had a family emergency and had to leave, but their staffs have worked hard on this, and they're doing a lot of thinking about it with our safety staff and our school site administrators. When students come from K-8s to MTech, they will be expected to utilize this pouch. As soon as we can provide these for our K-8s, we will do so that we're even across the board with all 7th and 8th graders. But in truth, it's not the issue in K-8s that it is in middle schools. It's not the disruption that it would be. We've talked a lot about how K-8s have a more seamless transition of quality habits and culture from grades 6 through 8. That's disrupted when kids go from a K-6 elementary to a middle school, and we have to renegotiate culture and good habits. So it's not as much a problem in our K-8s as it has been in our traditional 3 middle schools, but we'll work on making things nice and even across the board. I hope that helps you all understand a little bit about what we have planned here. We think it's going to make a really big difference. And over time, we think that students will start communicating with each other, maybe even playing, and who knows, they might even look up. They might even look up as they walk down the hall. That'd be really nice. I drive by every day and I see my oldest son standing on the sidewalk waiting to go through the Evolve system at Madera High. And like everybody else, his head is tilted this way, looking down at his phone. And they walk through the system that way every single day. We need to look up and be part of the world. And so we're going to start with some collective action to help our parents, help their kids, and help their teachers break the addiction of phones in the hands of our middle school students. Now, if you're a senior, you dodge the bullet, because next year in August, we go live in our high schools as well. So I hope that helps the board to understand what we're doing to comply with the new state law. We're going to get out in front of it because we're doing too many good things to let something like a cell phone stay in the way of our students' learning. Thanks for your time, and we appreciate the support to make all this happen.
Okay, thank you. Now the pouches are kept at the school?
The pouches will be issued to the students.
When they,
Am I correct?
They come to school?
Yes. Yes.
They don't take them home though, do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, I think they show up, they don't have their pouch.
We'll have a loaner and we'll log that. For the year, just like you keep your Chromebook.
I was thinking maybe they just, when they enter school, they get the pouch and then turn it in when they unlock it.
We want a nice steady stream right through the Evolve system as it's designed, with no stops, no hitches.
Okay. All right, thank you, Superintendent Lyle.
Well, I do have a question, President Seibert. Regarding the magnets on those pouches or pads or whatever it was, will that have any effect on the electronics of a cell phone?
No, sir, not that we're aware of. We haven't had that reported by any of the other schools using them.
Okay, is that a really heavy magnet strength, or is it just kind of mediocre?
No, it's a fairly strong magnet. I don't think it's easily pulled apart on its own. It's virtually impossible, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty close.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, move on to item number 13, new business. Item 13A1, Educational Services presents the proposed secondary 712 new course submissions for the 25-26 school year.
President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have Director Tina Teneinhaus here from our Curriculum Instruction and Assessment Department. She leads the secondary operation. Welcome. Is this your first presentation to the board, Director Teneinhaus?
It is, yes, yes. I'm excited
Well,
to be here.
welcome aboard.
Thank
And
you.
Happy
Thank
New Year
you.
to you.
Thank you. All right, well, good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board, and Superintendent Lyle. It is my privilege to be here tonight in my first official board meeting in my new role as director. I'm here tonight representing the work that has been done in the Secondary Curriculum Council Committee. The Curriculum Council is an internal process where we look at new courses that we need within our school district every year. The Curriculum Council meets every other week from September to November, where we look at proposed new courses that meet the needs of our students. Every course goes through a first read. Any needed revisions are then added, and then a second read prior to approval and bringing it to you tonight at the board. It is made up of secondary principals, counselors, high school deans, and the directors in ed services, as well as other directors as needed. Tonight with me, I have the Director of College and Career Readiness, Krista McKenna, and who will be able to answer specific questions about the CTE or dual enrollment courses offered, and Director of Arts Education, Brandon Gillis, with me this evening, who can answer specific questions about the visual and performing arts courses that are included. And I can answer any questions about the general courses pertaining to the secondary. This year we have several new courses for your review, and we will be back in January for the second read and the approval. You should have all of the courses and overviews in front of you for all of the proposed courses that we're going to discuss tonight. I have the privilege of talking about the first course being proposed, which is AP Pre-Calculus. We know that community colleges are moving towards STEM majors starting in community college with calculus. Therefore, we need to prepare our students who want to major in STEM areas with being able to enter into a calculus course. And so AP Pre-Calculus is being proposed, which will be serve as an additional fourth-year math course offering for students who might be appropriate for. I now invite Director Gillis up to talk about the arts education courses being proposed this year.
Thank you. Good evening, President Seibert and Clerk Mendoza and trustees and Superintendent Lyle. We have 9 thrilling courses in arts education for your consideration tonight. Most of those, some of those are middle school. I'll talk about those first. Their rationale and their reason for coming into being is consistent with each other. Those courses are drama intermediate, choir intermediate, orchestra intermediate, and we'll talk about the art course separately. Those 3 courses, drama, choir, and orchestra, are proposed to give students a different experience their 8th grade year should they choose to continue studying that art discipline. If you choose drama in your 7th grade year, currently your only choice for 8th grade is either to repeat the same experience by taking drama again, or to leave and take a different art discipline or another elective. So without increasing our staffing or any of our demands or space, We're providing an opportunity to differentiate the experience for those students who want to go deeper a second year. And it allows us to sort out those continuing students so that they can have that accelerated experience or that next step experience. Those courses, drama, choir, orchestra, feed into a continuing pathway in high school that starts in ensemble music in 4th grade, in general music and drama in kindergarten or TK. So it's a missing piece of the pathway through high school. The middle school art course, which is new, is called Art Around the World. Currently, we offer an Art 1 and an Art 2 course with without a lot of definition as to what each unit of study looks like around the whole district. And these are because these are older courses and the originators of these courses no longer teach them, new teachers teach them, and it's become what you want it to be. So Art Around the World was designed through a curriculum design team of art teachers to meet the demands of the new arts education standards, which were adopted by the state in 2019. Eventually, Art 1 and Art 2, which are currently offered courses in middle school, will also get either rewritten or replaced or phased out. But right now, this is a new standards-aligned art course for middle school. So the middle school courses are Drama Intermediate, Choir Intermediate, Orchestra Intermediate, and Art Around the World. Art Around the World also, I'm kind of proud of it because of the way that it came to be. The design team really focused on the demand of students to understand why they make art. It's not just about the technique or the color on the page or the thing that you make or the product that you show at the end, but it's about your story and your voice and how what you make represents you. A very cool discussion evolved in the writing of this course, looking at like why paper exists, for instance, and how if you follow trade routes historically, like how these Chinese art forms influenced European art forms, and how there's this huge connected web of all of our cultural stories. And so I think that course is going to be a model for us, hopefully, on the reason why we make art. Hopefully the reason why we make music and drama also. Our high school courses are Percussion 2, Mariachi 2, a new advanced guitar course, and 2 visual arts studio courses, which are the capstone experience, the junior, senior year, end of year pathway experience, Art 2D Studio and Art 3D Studio. The music courses, Percussion, Mariachi, and advanced guitar provide a next step for students who are interested in continuing. Percussion, for instance, in the Red Pyramid at Desmond and Torres has an explosion in popularity. There are like 50 percussionists, which are way more than you need for a band, but there are that many kids who want to do it. So we need to find a way to differentiate their experience and help them to move on while also making a space for new musicians to come in and learn. So that's a natural thing. Mariachi 2, same thing. In high school, a lot of our mariachi musicians are, some of them continue from programs that they started in 4th grade or that they jumped into deeply in middle school, but we also are making room for beginners and people who are learning to play the trumpet for the first time. And I don't play the trumpet myself, but I have observed that it's really hard to play mariachi trumpet, especially. And so if you're coming in as a beginner, your experience and your needs are different than these groups that we expect to be on show in the public for everyone to be proud of. We're going to be proud of all of them, of course, and we're going to expect even our beginners to perform and to take the stage publicly, because that's what our arts disciplines are about, but they have different needs. So an additional course allows us to meet those needs differently. And then the last 2 courses of that are Art 2D Studio and 3D Studio. I'm sure you remember the courses that we addressed last year, which is for our 2nd year in the high school art pathway. We introduced these concentrator courses. They are opportunities for students to explore specific techniques like printmaking or mixed media or ceramics, and really develop technical knowledge. Like what are the skills and the craftsmanship that's required to use this medium specifically. But we also want students to make sure that they're not just following the directions and doing everything step by step to master the tools. So our studio courses as a capstone experience expect students to develop their own body of work and develop their own voice as artists. And the culminating experience of both of those studios is that they exhibit their personal exhibition at some time during the school year. So expect as an outcome from those two courses to see students' work that tells their story. It's a challenging thing that we're working on, but it's the direction that we need to go to make art more meaningful for everybody. There's a time for questions coming up soon, but it's Director McKenna's turn.
Good evening again. I've got 4 courses that I'm bringing to you guys tonight. And so I'll talk about the first 2. First, those are the career technical education courses. So both of the CTE courses that are being proposed are in the arts, media, and entertainment pathway in regards to videography. So we've had videography as a capstone for years in our district, but currently the introductory class is called Media Arts Applications. And students from there can either go on to the marketing and business side of things or to the video side. And that's not necessarily a best practice to share intro courses between different sectors. So with a increase in student interest with a 7-period day, we finally had that opportunity to rewrite a freshman level course that really aligns itself better to the upper videography curriculum. So that course will be called Digital Creation for freshmen, and we are trying for F Fine Art credit approval from that from the UC. The second course, like I said, is also in that pathway. So from that new digital creation course, students would still take digital art photo, and they could still take videography, which is a 2-period class their junior year. What we're finding is good news. Kids are taking the class in junior year and they want to take it again senior year, but we don't like to repeat courses. And so we are offering a new ROP course. And our thought process here is on the digital video production and broadcasting course would be that this course and our current videography course alternate years. So in this school year, it's videography. Next year, it's digital broadcasting, and then back and forth. That'll give our opportunity to our students to take those classes that they're interested in for 4 years. And that is an already approved course in partnership with Fresno County ROP. Moving from CTE world and putting on a little bit different hat is a new general elective course. We have a fun title for it. It's Graduate Profile, but we're not calling it that. So it is Speak, Lead, Succeed, Mastering Public Speaking and Personal Growth. So one of the things that we're seeing as seniors go through, advisory is great and it's providing the students a lot of resources, but there's some students that need some additional help. If we've never public spoken in our lives and that's uncomfortable for us, we might need some more supports. So this will be a general elective that any student can take, really focusing on personal development, really focusing on public speaking, really focusing on marketing yourself for your future career. And then we'll be tying in those graduate profile elements of both of our portfolio and our showcase in there to give students an opportunity to get some additional support and resources in this new course. Switching hats one more time, we're going to go to dual enrollment. As you're familiar, dual enrollment right now in our district is primarily through Madera Community College. The issue with the State Center Community College process is teachers have to meet the qualifications exactly in their books. So we have teachers in history at all 3 campuses that are meeting quals. We're able to offer U.S. history at all 3 of the high school campuses. English, we have people meeting quals at 2 campuses and not a 3rd. So sometimes in certain disciplines, it's harder to find a person with this very specific master's degree on our high school staff. And at this present moment, Madera Community hasn't always been able to provide that. So an opportunity came to us through the National Equity Lab, and Superintendent Lyle and Ms. Sissel and I met with them. It's a little different than our traditional dual enrollment. A lot of the same benefits for students. Students are getting college credit. Students get college credit that's transferable. The difference here is with National Equity Lab, we get to, good news, we get to pick some classes from Ivy League schools, from HBCUs, from out-of-state schools for our students. There is a cost to our district to offer these courses, but they provide the instructor to us. And so we don't have to worry about, for instance, we're looking at a sociology and an ethnic studies course. In order to teach ethnic studies through Madera Community College, you have to have a master's in either Chicano Latino studies, African American studies. They're very, very specific master's degrees, which nobody on our staff currently holds. So we found some courses that we've never been able to offer through Madera Community College, and are going to try this as a pilot through National Equity Lab this year. So we're going to pilot this on all 3 campuses. We're going to target a cohort of about 35 kids at each Madera High, Madera South, and Torres. The students would get a sociology course in the fall semester, and I believe that one was through Arizona State University, and then we're looking at an ethnic studies course in the spring semester through Howard University. And so that will come, because there is a cost to that, that will come through our normal bundle contract. But we were approached because we are a Title I school for that opportunity. So this would provide those students 6 credits. There are some things that we want to work out. Obviously, there's not a teacher flying in from Howard University to Madera, California a couple times a week. So that is done remotely in kind of a different modality. So we want to see how our students perform and how our students respond to that before we look at, can we scale that up? And that's why we're starting with a pilot. So at this time between the 2 directors that have already presented and myself, you can see we have some very exciting courses that we are looking at offering for our students starting in the 25-26 school year in Madera Unified. Like Tina had said previously, these will be coming back for a second read at the January 28th board meeting. But at this time, myself or either of my colleagues are more than happy to answer specific questions you have on any of the courses presented this evening.
Just before we take questions, I want to make a point here that I don't want to be missed. The Curriculum Council process is not necessarily easy. The research that's done, the writing of the curriculum, the vetting, the discussion, the debate, the amount of people that come to the table to share their expertise and to sign off on all of this, like what you're seeing right now is just the end product of a long process, and it's not easy. I also want to just note that if you've been here for a little while, you might be getting used to having some really cool courses that come forward. This is not the way it's always been. It's been challenging to get to this point, but because we now have a 7-period day, because we have directors of the caliber that we do, because we have these opportunities, because we have figured out some breakthrough ideas and we've had some opportunities, the Education Equity Lab sought us out for this opportunity to offer these upper level courses for, from some of the nation's leading universities, like some of the leading universities on the planet, and our kids are going to get access to them. Like, these are incredible options. We didn't used to have these kinds of options in our visual and performing arts. This is to me, this is a moment that I really hope that there's staff out there. I know there's just hundreds of people out there paying attention to this on Zoomland. But for those of us in the room who know the process and who know the structure of this, that these directors go through, that assistant superintendent or associate superintendent Sissel oversees, like, these are huge programmatic wins for our kids. And I'm really grateful that you 3 have brought forward so many high quality ideas and have worked so hard to bring these to all of us. I know there's a lot of people out there that you would thank. I hope you do when this is all said and done. But I just want to call out the fact this is very different, and it's much more innovative, and it's much more dynamic, and it continues to be that way. We're evolving in that direction. I'm really proud. So thanks.
Do you know what cultures are going to be covered in the ethnic studies program?
So with the National Equity Lab, their course calendar, their specific courses change a little bit each semester. And so there's a few that we're looking at specifically. The final course will be selected once the course catalog's published. So there's a couple that we're looking at. They've got kind of different ones. So obviously our students on the Madera Unified side will take the ethnic studies, which cover the 4 main populations. This one, the one that we're specifically looking at, is for African American Latinx, and it's called like Malcolm to something. So it's very specific in that. Malcolm to Martin. Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. They do have some other ones as well, but it's going to determine once they publish their catalog here in like a month and a half when we get to make that final selection.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do. I understand that there will be district staff that will be work as a facilitator, because actually the course will be done online.
Correct.
And I understand Superintendent Lyle explained to me that there will be also another assistant too that comes from the university, or will be also online?
Also online. So let me explain just because it's a little different, right? So when we do dual enrollment through State Center, there's one of two models we work with. The first model is I meet the minimum quals for agriculture. And so I go through Madera Communities process, like Ms. Luxon, who is in the back of the classroom, has done. She facilitates their curriculum in our class. They give some apportionment payment that we pass on to our teachers. Not every district does that, but we do that. The other model that we currently do with Madera Community is an example from child development. We do not have teachers that meet the quals for child development. They have an available adjunct, so they send us Ms. Hurling to both Madera High and Madera South. Ms. Hurling is on our campus 3 days a week, and she delivers the college curriculum while Ms. Stetsko or Ms. Andrews, who are our employees, are in the room as a facilitator. So with National Equity Lab, it follows a very similar model in that we will have a full-time Madera Unified employee in that classroom. Someone hopefully with, well, not hopefully, someone with a social science credential for CalPADS purposes. So if you have a social science credential and you're a Madera Unified teacher, you're going to be there 5 days a week, Trustee Dibert. You are facilitating those students' learning, making sure they're logging on. And the actual college content is delivered asynchronously, meaning the students are logging into either Canvas or Blackboard. Each college uses a little different LMS, and they are doing their work. And you, as the teacher of Madera Unified, are monitoring to make sure that our students are completing their assignments. In addition, so that's on Zoom. They don't ever really meet directly with that university teacher. There is also a graduate assistant that is assigned from those universities. The graduate assistant synchronously checks in with our students at least once a week. So they will have live FaceTime with that graduate assistant that reports to that professor at the university to kind of coach and tutor our kids through it. The college curriculum, both through State Center and National Equity Lab, are designed to be 3 hours a week, but obviously we have our students for about 5 hours a week. So there is about 2 hours a week of embedded tutorial for those students to work on their homework assignments, get additional support, tutoring either from that graduate assistant or from our Madera Unified staff to kind of help our students be successful.
I was trying to see what was the role other than just facilitate because we'll have to pay a full-time staff to facilitate that. So
So there's also the tutoring piece and the monitoring piece. And we have to, obviously, we're not going to leave 38 kids alone in a room to,
Right.
so there, we will still have a staff member on staff.
Thank you.
Any other questions for me or either of my?
Questions? Okay, you ready to go to Sacramento?
Why am I going to Sacramento?
Because the state legislature is mandating courses. It takes away our courses that we offer in elective classes.
Yeah, so there is some new proposals from the governor. Ethnic studies we're prepared for.
Yeah.
Financial literacy is coming next. And so I know that Tina and her team have started to think through that a little bit.
So I've been thinking about this, and I want us to present our history, how we started out with career technical education, and all the input we put into it all these years, and where we've come to with the 7-period day, so we can accommodate all of our kids in our classes. And what the state's doing, mandating these other courses, which we give that information, a lot of our courses, is killing us. And we went to a 7-period day to accomplish all this. And a lot of our schools other schools, districts only have 6-period days. So what are they going to get to teach? So I want us to be proactive and write something up with all your input, and then take it to CalSD, take it to CVC, and all the superintendents, give them an opportunity to sign on to this letter, what the legislator is doing to us, and basically plead with them. This is what we're trying to do, and you're hurting us. And we need to be able to teach these other courses that we're teaching. We can add financial literacy in other courses that we have, but this is something I want us to do, right away to work on, because it's very important. To me, it's very important. I know it's important to you. We've got to take the charge. We've got to go after it, because nobody else is going to do it. And if we can get other superintendents and board members and everybody to sign on to it, maybe we can get something done. But the legislators making all these different policies and stuff without consideration of what we're doing. So I'm gonna ask the superintendent and get some volunteers to work on this so we have a really good, solid presentation to take to the state legislature.
Understood.
Yep, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, item 13B1, fiscal services approval of 24-25 first interim report. Superintendent Lyle.
Doesn't this feel like a dance we all know how to do? Maestra, the microphone is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, President Seibert. Congratulations. Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, as every December, I'm here to present the first interim, and this is an update on how our budget looks for our district. And everybody receive a beautiful book like this, right? Okay. So we're gonna look at our enrollment and attendance, or first interim report, general fund revenue and expenditures, or ending balance and reserve for the year, multi-year assumptions and projections, future years ending balance and reserve, the checkbook balance, the projected cash flow, other funds, and the OPEB trust. So our enrollment and attendance for 24-25, it was estimated to be at 20,237. That number includes the district students and also the students that are served by the county, but they belong, they live within the district boundaries. They are included in our LCFF, so that's why they are included in this calculation. CalPATS enrollment, we reported 20,185. So our attendance, actual attendance, is about 92.5%. So we're estimating that it's going to be at 18,665. We're going to be funded at 19,039. To remind you, the state takes either current year, prior year, or the 3-year average, whichever is the highest, to fund the attendance. So we are in the 3-year average. For district only, our estimated enrollment was 20,143. So CalPATS enrollment was reported at 19,934. So we have 208 students less than last year. So our attendance is estimated to be at about 18,448. So we report our attendance in April on our P2 report. So the decline in our enrollment is mainly due to our cohort of students are not as big as they were before. We have some cohorts in the upper grades that are at 1,500. We're seeing the new cohorts of like kinder and first grade at 1,300. So it's about 200 students less than in prior years. So that's the main reason. And another reason, our TK students is not, the enrollment is not as high as we were projecting before. Our general fund revenue was updated, and now it's estimated at $430 million. That includes $12.9 million in STIRS on behalf. We have to recognize the contribution that the state is doing on the STIRS on behalf of our employees, and we include it in our financials. Unrestricted, $284.7 million is about 66% of our budget. LCFF revenue, $307.8 million. 1.07 COLA is included in this amount. State and local revenue accounts for $11.9 million. And we do a contribution of $35 million to fund the special education and the routine repair and maintenance program. In the restricted side, we have $145.4 million, or 34% of our revenue. Federal revenue, $39 39.9 million, state revenue 60.3, local 10.2, and the 35 million contribution that comes from the unrestricted side. What have changed from last time that I was here when I presented the modified budget, when we closed the books for the prior year and brought the carryover and deferred revenue into the new year? That's the middle column, the modified budget. So now the last column is the first interim, and that's what the comparison that I do. So you can see the difference in millions there. So LCFF, it was recalculated, and we got another 200,000. And then we have federal funds, we have 5.8 million. And so as you can see there, 5.3 million came from Title I. So we have almost 50% more of what we normally receive in Title I.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we don't.
Can't follow you.
Yeah, right, we don't
We
have
don't
this
have
in
that
our
presentation.
handouts.
You don't have that one? Oh,
Follow you, and you're going faster?
I'm sorry. Do you want me to make copies?
Or either that or slow down because.
Can you identify it, maybe can you identify it on the booklet which each section is at? Maybe we can follow you. We were following the first two
Yes.
pages, but then after that,
Yeah, I don't have that specific table in the book.
Yeah, we got up to the revenue, but the revenue changes we don't have.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought.
Let me see if I can print it. I'm gonna see if I think.
Thank you. Okay, let's take a little break. Well, I'll keep explaining this and I'll slow down a little bit. And so the federal funds increased 5.8 million, mainly was Title I. Normally we receive about 10 million in Title I, and we just got notification that we were gonna receive 5 million more. So we added to the budget. We also received additional 300,000 in Title II, 400,000 in lottery, 1.6 million for the, we have a new grant for the Blue Pyramid, that is the community schools. So now we have 3 cohorts. We already received for the Red Pyramid that runs until 2027. Then we have the Purple Pyramid that runs until 2028. And this one is for the Blue Pyramid schools, and it will run until 2029. And so we're adding the budget only for this year, but in total, each cohort receive about 11 million for the how the grant lasts. So and we're using those funds to fund some positions, and we have Director Karen Dorian and Coordinator Carson Christensen, that they are in charge of these 3 grants that are called California Community Schools Partnership.
These 3 grants, they have to go to the Pacific schools, or are you splitting it up amongst the 3 schools?
It's by pyramid.
By
Yes.
pyramid?
Yes. So the first cohort was for pyramid, red pyramid. So it funded positions through all the schools for that pyramid. And then we received the purple one, and it was Madera South and all the schools under the purple pyramid.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it stays within that period.
Yes.
Now, do you adjust your budget to the other schools to compensate so they have money?
No, each pyramid has to stay within those schools only.
We haven't lost any funding yet on these grants.
Yes, no, we still have, the first one expires in 2027. And so at that time, we're gonna see if I think the state is gonna evaluate how this program is working. And if they see the results that they are wanted to, they will probably give other grants to keep these initiatives going. Okay, and so 1.1 million in the CSAP, that is the Classified School Employees Program, and is the summer assistance. So every year, we participate in this program, and the state matches dollar per dollar on the savings of the classified employees that are contracted less than 12 months. So because they are not contracted during the summer, they start saving in August all the way through June, and the state matches dollar per dollar. As the 4 years that we have participated, they have matched it. So if they save $5,000, the state sends another $5,000. We have to tax it, of course, because everybody has to pay taxes, but the employer will receive the $5,000 after tax that they already paid on, plus the $5,000 minus taxes that the state sends. And we paid that at the end of July. So we received the funds at the end of July or the beginning of August. So that's why you're seeing it now. 2.1 million in interest because we have some cash in the bank sitting there. So we are getting some interest. So we usually get about 2 million a year. Well, this for the first quarter, we already received 2 million. So we increased the budget to 4 million for the rest of the year. So that's why you see that increase in there. Medical reimbursement, 2.6 million. We usually receive in the hundreds, like 100 to 100,000. But this year we have prior year reimbursements that they were always behind. We always, we do the claims. We have a company that called Paradigm that they do the claims for all the services that we provide to our students, and then medical reimburses. And so that's why we received those funds. And we have a new grant called Heluna Health, and it's a local grant, $750,000 that Director Karen Deorian received, and that is for 3 years. So she will be using those funds. And 1 million in other revenues, so in either donations, gate receipts for whatever we charge, for the games, and donations through different schools. So that makes the 16 million that you see in increase.
I have a question. On the previous slide. Thank you. So the 2.6, the medical reimbursement, how does those funds are you utilized?
They are used by our health department. We fund, for example, the equipment that we use if someone has like a heart attack. We have to replace those
AEDs that
yes.
are out there.
And so we pay for those from there. Any supplies or kits that or psychologists need to evaluate our kids or to we purchase through those funds.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody have their handouts? Yes. Good, thank you. I'm sorry about that. General fund expenditures, they are at 523.1 million, includes also the 12.9 million in Stars on Behalf. Or major expenditures, of course, salaries and benefits, 326.5 million. Or special education, we have 37.5 million in the budget for that program. Or routine repair and maintenance, 15.3 million. We are required by the state that we allocate at least 3% of our general fund expenditures in this program to maintain our facilities in good repair. Transportation, 9.6 million. Utilities, 8.2 million. What have changed since we modified the budget when we brought the carryover? You see the changes outside the table, and we have added to the budget 13.3 million. And mostly is salaries decreased 6 million overall due to budget updates and vacancies. In the expenditures, budget was updated in the various categories. So for example, materials was reduced, but services was increased. And also, we added funds to the capital outlay, that is any purchases that are 5,000 or more. And so the overall change was 13.3 million. So we're estimating our ending balance at 91.9 million. And from that ending balance, we have the non-spendable, that is our inventory and petty cash, 594,000. We have assigned 682,000, and that is for vacation accruals. So any employees that are 261 calendar classified or 255, we have like 3 different calendars that they work all year round, so they accrue vacations on the books. And if they don't use all their vacation, we have to recognize that liability at the end of the year. If most of the employees, they can only carry 80 hours of vacation. So if they have more than 80, we pay them out and we let them carry 80 hours, and then they get the new allocation of the new year. So that is the calculation. Every year we recalculate that amount at the end of the year. We also have committed funds for lottery textbooks, all those new courses coming in that was just presented earlier. We have to pay the textbooks from somewhere, so we have the funds to do that. And we also have some of the concentration funds and also some funds aside to cover all those positions that either are covered with one-time funds or to help us with any expenditures that we need to increase services for our students. So after taking in account the non-spendable, the assigned funds, and the committed funds, our adjusted ending balance is at 53.1 million, and our expenditures, I stated earlier, 523.1 million, so that is the calculation that brings us the 10% reserve. So for the multi-year assumptions, we have certainties and uncertainties. So the certainties, we know that a step in COLA is an automatic salary increase. So the employees don't have to do anything. And because they start maybe at step 1 or step 3 in the salary schedule, every year their salary goes up automatically on July 1st. And we have to account for that increase until they max at the either like classified, they are at step 7, and then they stay there. But every time every year they receive that increase. And if we have like a negotiation and we settle for a certain percentage, they also get that too. No increases for CalSTRS. The percentage is stay the same at 19.10%. On the other hand, we have CalPERS rate increasing from 27.05 to 27.6. And even though the increase is not a lot, but for us, it makes a difference. So, and you will see that increase in another slide. The 3% increase for health and welfare contribution. This year we are at around 20,500 contribution from the district per employee for health and welfare. And we have the 3% escalator. So that means every year we have to increase 3% more. So, for example, we have the Plan 3 in our PPO. Employees don't pay anything out of pocket. Plan 1, they still pay like $170 is coming out of their check to pay for that plan because, it's Plan 1 is the best of the best. But as the contribution keeps increasing, that amount that they are paying out of pocket is reducing. Minimum wage is going up January 2025 up to $16.50. It's going up 50 cents, so we're accounting for that. Hussein School is opening in August 2026. So next year, we're going to have the principal already start working on that. And then we'll have to add staff, classified and certificated for 2026. The uncertainties, state and federal revenues, we don't know how with the new administration at the federal level, we don't know how that is going to affect funding for schools. COLA increases on the LCFF. When the state was adopted the budget, the Department of Finance projected the COLA at 2.93% for 25-26. Now the legislative office they said are estimating the COLA at 2.46%. So the lower the COLA, the less new revenue coming in. We'll wait until the January budget and the governor's proposal and see what the COLA is in his proposal. Enrollment and average attendance, you saw the first slide. We are in decline, declining enrollment, and so we have to account for that. So we cannot say that we're going to get more students, because even though we see some constructions here and there in town, but we don't see it in the numbers in our enrollment. Future negotiations. Currently, we are in the table right now with MURA, and so both sides of the tables, we are doing our best and to get into negotiations and have a good settlement, good for the employees and good for the district, because we don't want to break the bank. And so hopefully that is something that we can absorb in our budget, and we feel comfortable that it will keep us solvent for the future. In the consumer price index, inflation is real. We feel it in our pocket every time we go to the store. And so we have to account for services going up every year. We add a 4% in our multi-year to account for services increases and also materials and any other expenditures. The multi-year assumption, the board has prioritized the improvements of all, in addition, the new facilities. In the presentation that Director Cox and Deputy Superintendent had earlier, you saw the big old amount of $197 million that we need just for the projects that we are currently working on. And so the interfund transfer that we've been doing all these years from the general fund is what has been giving us the ability to fund those projects. So we're going to continue the transfer. This year, we still have $10 million in the budget, but of course, depending on negotiations, COLA, new revenue for the next year, things can change. So, but as of right now, the plan is to continue the interfund transfer and maintain our reserve at least 10%. So for the multi-year projection here, I have two scenarios, as I talked to you earlier, that the Department of Finance for 25-26, they projected at 2.93%. That brings us $5 million in new revenue. But you can see our expenditures for 25-26 are all $6.8 million estimated. So we're still deficit $1.7 million, and it's okay. That's where our either committed funds and our ending balance help us to absorb that deficit. For 26-27, the COLA 3.08, that brings us about $9.5 million in new revenue. Expenditures about $9.1 million. You can see Hussein School is there with the staff at $1.5 million. $1 million for just startup funds, because remember, we need rooms, we need garbage cans, we need everything, to make the school function, that we have to purchase once, at least for a while, and we need to have those dollars there. And last time when we opened Virginia Lee Rose, we spent about $500,000, but that was many years ago. So we have to account for inflation. And so, and also the operating budget for that school. Remember that opening a new school, it doesn't mean more money coming in, because we're not getting new students. So we have to be able to provide them, and it's about $100,000 that we give each school. And what that is only to cover supplies and services that they need to operate the school. Salaries, benefits, any big purchases are covered by the district. So hopefully in 2026-27, we'll have enough new revenue to absorb all the new expenditures. So this is my scenario number 2, and this one is based on the information from the LA's most recent fiscal outlook that they released in November, and they are saying that COLA is estimated at 2.46%. So that brings us only 3.7 instead of the 5 million that it was in the previous project scenario. And so that means my deficit on year 25-26 is higher than the year before. And of course, it affects also the 26-27 because remember, it's compounding. So that means for 26-27, I'm only receiving 9.5. So I'm still okay because with the new expenditures in 26-27, but as I mentioned it, we'll wait for the governor to present his proposal in January, and everything that you see here will change. Future years ending balance and reserve, I put there 23-24, how we close the books for 23-24. We have an ending balance of 184.9 million, and we have committed funds of 46 million. And then we have the unassigned and reserve, and that gives us the 13.7%. The 24-25, we're projecting the ending balance with 91.9 million. Committed funds. You see how the committed funds now is a lower amount, and it's because remember that this is the first year that we don't have COVID funds anymore. So we have to absorb some of those positions that we initiated with COVID funds. For example, the TSM for elementary and secondary. We started that program with COVID funds. The specials, the elementary specials, we start them with COVID funds. So now that COVID funds are gone, all those positions are being absorbed into the unrestricted general fund. So even though it's a lot of positions, we were able to absorb it, but not reduce too much the committed funds because we have to make them last as long as we can to protect the district in case, COLA is not coming as they are saying. We had in the past, we had a year that was zero COLA. So if we have a zero COLA, we still have to absorb new expenditures every year. So those committed funds will help us to absorb that. 25-26, we're estimating the ending balance with 71.9 million and with a 10% reserve. In 26-27, 56.2 million, and still maintain the reserve. But you see that the committed funds will start getting decreased every year. The checkbook balance. So as of October 31st, we have 179 million in at the treasurer's office. And the fair value adjustment, remember that is the value of our cash when we closed the books last year. And so we have a 3.9 million that it was the calculation that the value of our money or cash was at that point. So we have to decrease that and give us the net cash in county. Then we have the liabilities. So that means if we know we owe money to some organizations. So accounts payable, we still owe about 3 million. Health and welfare, 5 million, and that is the pass-through account where we every month we deduct from employees' paychecks and also the contribution for the district, put it in this account, and from this account we pay the bill to CBT for our insurance. Employer taxes, we pay them quarterly, and you see a negative there, and it's because our workers' comp, they charge us in advance. So they charge us in July for first quarter, even the first quarter it ends in October. So that's why you see that we'll catch up later on as we start making the deductions. Retirees health and welfare, 1.3 million. That is where retirees pay their portion of their health insurance, and they come and make payments. And so is where we put the funds. We also charge every program that we have salaries coming through. We charge them 1% to be able to fund the retirees health and welfare. So, and that's the pass-through account. And from there, we pay the CBT invoice also. Employee reimbursements, we have either we receive money from that employees had a deduction and for example, they send a deduction for their 403B. They don't have an active account, they return the money to us. So sometimes we have to do a petty cash for the employee because their timesheet was missing or it got stuck in someone's desk and we have to pay the employee. We cut a petty cash and you see it as a negative, and then when we run the payroll normally, we deposit the money back. So the CSAP classified summer assistant, that is where the employees are doing their savings for the classified program that I talked to you earlier, that the state matches dollar per dollar. So every month we deduct from the employees, the classified employees, we put it in this pass-through account, and then at the end of the year, in July, we pay it out. And the same thing with deferred payroll, that is for our teachers. Our teachers do the same thing, but they don't have the luxury of getting $1 from the state. So they only get their money. And use tax liabilities, we pay that quarterly. As sometimes, we purchase out of state and they don't charge us enough taxes. We still recalculate our taxes and we make the deposits. Okay. Cash flow, as you can see, we are very good in cash. We have no need to borrow. And July through October are actuals, and November through June are estimates. And we always look a little low in June, but it's low compared to July from prior year, but it's still in a good amount of cash, like no need to borrow. General fund monthly expenditures or district spends are on average 35 million every month. For example, we have October expenditures. We spend 25.7 million in salaries and benefits, materials and supplies 2.6 million, services 4.5 million, and that includes contracts, utilities, and other services. And our capital outlay, anything that we purchase that is 5,000 or more, or any upgrades that we do at any of our buildings, we charge it there. So we spend 500,000, and other expenditures for 160,000. And that is a transfer to Madera County Superintendent of Schools. And that's for those students that they serve, that they belong to us, but they serve. So we have to pay them every month. And here you can see the year-to-date expenditures for payroll. You see the current budget and the year-to-date spend. And this one shows as of October 31st. And so very predictable payroll. We know we have to run payroll every month. On the other hand, materials, services, and capital outlay, sometimes we look very low at the beginning, but remember it's only 3 months. 4 months, but any funds not expended on material, services, or capital outlay either carry over to the next year or it goes as a deferred revenue into the next year. So the other funds, besides general fund, the district also maintains several funds. So I'll go through this really quick. If you have any questions, please ask as I go through them. General fund, we started with 184.9 million. We received 430. That's our estimated revenue. Our estimated expenses, 507 million. And we have a transfer out of 15.7 million. And you can see that column balanced to zero because that transfer out comes to some of the other funds below. And so we're projecting the ending balance with 91.9 million. We have the student activity special revenue, and that is the ASB accounts that we have at all the high schools and middle schools. And as they fundraise, and we started the balance with 953,000. We are expecting a revenue of 1.1 million and expenditures at 1.3 million, so ending with 725,000. Adult education is Fund 11. We started the budget, the beginning balance with 606,000 as 606,000, and we're estimating the revenue 2 million, and we're spending about 2.3 million. So we're an ending balance of 318,000. Child development is our preschool program, and we started the beginning balance at 1.5 million, the revenue 4.5, and expenses at 6 million. So we're not projecting any ending balance, but as I mentioned earlier, any expenditure, any budget and expenses not spent, it will be a carryover into the new year. Child nutrition, we started with 5.6 million, revenue 20.9 million, and expenditures at 21 million. So we're projecting the ending balance with 5 million. And they are funding that child nutrition kitchen infrastructure. We're using a grant mainly, but any additional that is not covered by the grant, we're using their funds. Fund 21 is the building fund, and is where the bond proceeds come in. And we started with 31.9 million. You see a revenue of 51 million. We sold the last 50 million of the bonds from the 2018 election. Remember, Measure M was 120 million. We had left 50 million, so we sold them in October, and that's the 50 million that you see in the revenue, plus some interest that we're expecting. Expenditures, you see that, 82.9 million. So, and that is all King Hussein. So, plus, okay? So the ending balance is estimated at 0, but if we don't pay the 82.9 million this year, we'll roll over the POs to the following years until the construction is complete. Developer fees, Fund 25, we started the beginning balance with 5.1 million. Revenue, we're expecting 2.1 million. We have expenditures already up, or budget expenditures for 4.5 million. And so we have an ending balance of 2.7 million. The redevelopment agency is Fund 27. We have a beginning balance of 105 million, 805,000, and revenue 1.1 million. And we have a transfer out of 1.1 million. And so the redevelopment agency is a program that existed in the county of Madera for like long time ago. And it was already closed and it's not longer active, but they have bonds that are still far out into the future. So we're gonna still continue receiving revenue until they are done. And so we're using this revenue to pay the old COP, the certificate of participation when we did the construction for Madera South. And so we're using these funds to pay that debt. Fund 35 is our facilities, county school facilities. Any state match comes into this fund. We started the beginning balance with 53 million. We are expecting some revenue of 576,000, and that is mainly for interest for the cash sitting at the bank. But you can see we already budgeted 50 million, and that is also Hussein. And so we're projecting estimated balance of 2.8 million. The special reserve capital is Fund 40. We started with 244,000, revenue about 10,000, and expenditures 138,000. And we have a 1,000 transfer coming in from the general fund, and we use this fund to purchase or pay for repairs that do not qualify for routine repair and maintenance. We just recently have a breaker going out on Madera South, and we have to order the part, and it was only existing in LA, and they needed to ship it over here, and we have to pay $35,000 for that piece just to bring it to us. So, and we needed to act quickly because it was for the heater, the electrical power for, yes. So that's how this fund help us. Fund 41 is our special reserve building. We started the beginning balance with 85.3 million. We're expecting at 1 million revenue is just interest for the cash sitting, and expenditures already at 27 million. And we have the transfer in of 10 million, and that comes from the general fund, the one that I was explaining earlier to you. That 27 million and the expenditures is Hussein. It's TK classrooms and also Madison expansion. It's in that budget there. And Fund 51 is bond interest and redemption. We started the beginning balance with 10 million, revenue at 11.8, the same for expenditures, and we expect to end with the same 10 million. This fund is kept at the treasurer's office and is how they pay the bonds when they collect the funds from the citizens, the owners of Madera houses. You pay your taxes, they collect, they pay the bill, but we are required to show it in our books at the end of the year. And lastly, Fund 56 is our debt service, and we started with 787,000. We are expecting 14,000 in revenue and 5.9 million in expenses, and that is the payment of 2 COPs. The 2014 certificate of participation, we still owe 9 million, and we'll be finishing that loan in 2033. So in 10 years, 9 years.
Excuse me, what are the interest rates on those COPs?
I think it's about 3%, 3-4%. Yes.
So each maturity is different, but on average, it's about 4.5%.
And remember the original 2018, when we built Torres High School, we borrowed 70 million, and we just refinanced that one last year, or in the spring of this year, 2020. Yeah, the spring is last fiscal year. And with refinancing, we, according to the calculations, we were gonna save about 23 million. And so we owe on that COP, the new one, the 2024, we owe 61 million, and we're gonna finish paying that one in 2044. Someone will be here because I'm not planning to be here. Okay, so as you can see, we still have some millions there, but with the list that Director Cox and Superintendent Deputy had earlier in their presentation, the 197 million in construction, is going to be covered. So the OPEB trust, we opened this trust back in 2018, and it's other post-employment benefits. So we pay for our retirees' health and welfare from our general fund. So we started this in 2018, and the intent is to save, to add contributions and save money and have this account generate enough revenue to cover that expenditures. So the advantage of having the OPEB trust, it shows financial management and stability for the district. So when we get rated, they look at that. It mitigates the district and funded liability, so that health and welfare for the retirees, if we had it already like at the level that we wanted, it will be at less expenditure in our general fund. Investment returns may help pay for benefits. That's the main reason that we have this. Secure these assets from creditors, so in an event that the district goes bankrupt, they cannot touch this account. That will not happen. And may improve credit rating. So we've been very lucky. So when we are being evaluated, we have been upgraded in our rate. So as of October 31st, we have in the balance 12.2 million. The district has contributed 9.5 million, and we have 2.8 million in earnings. And we have to pay fees, of course, nothing's free. 106,000 we have paid since 2018. We're still doing the 500,000 annual contribution from the general fund. And like I mentioned, this is a savings for retirees' health insurance in the future. And then, so as you can see, we have very good months at the beginning, but October was not so good. But November came in, and we have an earning of 368,000 in November. So we still, making some earnings. But the ideal will be to have earnings of about 2 million every year to be able to cover the expenditures of the retirees' health and welfare. And that's all I have.
That's all?
Yes.
That's it?
Oh, thank you, CFO Garcia. Great report. Now I open this item for public comment. Ms. Zalando?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alonso. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Trustee Costello's not here. Hernandez, okay, everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. Now I entertain a motion, a second, to approve the item number 13B1. Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I move to approve the 2024-25 first interim report.
I second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Fleek and seconded by trustee Salazar to approve the item number 13B1. Ms. Elizondo, would you please poll the board?
Yes, sir. And for the record, I wanted to state that trustee Castillo and trustee Cervantes Hernandez had to leave at 9:30 because of finals week. Okay, so trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. I'm gonna practice pronouncing her name. Okay, item 13C1, Human Resources, adoption of the 2024-2025 initial proposal by the Madera Unified School District and the California School Employees Association and its Madera Unified Chapter number 169. Superintendent Lyle.
Well, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have Assistant Superintendent Joe Aiello here from Human Resources for this item, and it's pretty awesome because she just said 2044 we finished paying off that COP. Joe might be here to celebrate it at that point, but I guarantee you we'll still be in this building when it happens.
We're doing the math. I don't know.
I'm figuring out. You'll still be in this building when it happens, though.
Well, good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, Trustee Superintendent Lyle. Tonight, we were requesting adoption of the initial sunshine proposals from CSEA and from Madera Unified School District so we could begin the process of labor negotiations. CSEA has requested to open articles of salary and health and welfare benefits, leaves, and transfers. And the district requested that we open up the articles of disciplinary action and transportation. And so we were required to have this as a new business item so the public has an opportunity to comment before negotiations start. And then we're asking approval for you to adopt the sunshine proposals so we can continue with the process and move forward with negotiations.
Thank you, Associate Superintendent Aiello. I now open this item for public comment. Ms. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you're joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board on this item.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? No questions? Okay. Now I entertain a motion and a second to approve the item number 13C1. Please state your name when making a motion and a second the motion.
Trustee Cortez, and I move to approve item 13C1 as stated.
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Cortez and seconded by trustee Fleek to approve item number 13C1. Ms. Elizondo, will you please poll the board?
Yes. Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Item number 14, announcements. Superintendent Lyle, do you have any announcements for the board?
3 relatively short ones. 1, students and staff will be preparing for a holiday break. Winter break, this begins on Monday, December 23rd and lasts through January 10th of 2025. Students return to school on Monday, January 13th. So it's pretty far away, it seems. Additionally, our district office will be enjoying a holiday break as our offices will be closed beginning next Monday, December 23rd until January 5th. The office will resume normal business hours on Monday, January 6th. So if you come by for something and you wonder why the parking lot's empty, that's the reason why. The annual Martin Luther King Jr. celebration will once again be held at MLK Middle School by the host committee. It'll be in the cafeteria on Sunday, January 19th from 2 to 4. A calendar invite has been sent to the trustees' calendars. And lastly, in observance of the MLK holiday, schools and district offices will be closed on Monday, January 20th, 2025. And we want to wish you all a very happy holiday season, a happy new year, and hope you enjoy some time with your family. Warm slippers, jammies, a blanket, a good movie, and a book. Have fun.
And a nice fireplace.
Wouldn't it be
Fire-
nice?
fireplace, yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Okay, item number 15A, miscellaneous, board member, committee, and information reports. Trustees, this is an opportunity for you to provide the board with a brief update or a report from committee meetings or events you have attended. Trustee Ahmad?
Yes, I attended a athletic advisory committee meeting on November 20th. Topic was discussed, update on SALT event. CARD provided the update, K-8 athletic program, including participation, progress, and opportunity. Also, I attended the facility safety committee meeting on December 12 via Zoom. I received update on therapy dog, gang invention, and also SB 390. I skipped one of my, I attended a CSBA conference in Anaheim, December 4 to 7. I attended different sessions, which include advanced governance skills, artificial intelligence, safe sports policy, mental health, First Amendment, auditor is your district is ready, new laws, and few different general session. And one of the general session, the first one actually, it was by Dr. Laura Santos, the science of well-being. One of the things she said I really liked is, she said, be happy. Happy is the key of success. So keep yourself, people around happy, so it makes it easier for your life. And then also I attended the last session was regarding about also artificial intelligence with Sam Santos. And in this one, he says, change is not happening, it is happened. Change the way we experience, think, and react. We all need to be ready for AI, artificial intelligence, for the future. And also, I would like to say happy holidays, and I wish you all have a holiday season filled with peace, love, and happiness. May the coming year bring you all happiness, success, and countless blessing. Best wishes to you all and your loved ones. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
And Trustee Cortez?
Nothing to report, but I do wish everybody happy holidays.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes, yesterday I attended the DLAC meeting, and there was a good group of parents that attended. Trustee Salazar and Trustee Cortez were with me. Basically, staff went over the process of reclassification of our EL students, and Mrs. Cisneros did a great job sharing a sample of each of the parents' students, and on how to read the reports that they're going to get. So that was very good. I also want to join my fellow trustees in wishing nice winter break for everybody, and whatever you celebrate, for me, is Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you.
Okay, Trustee Fleek?
Excuse me. Okay, we've already had 2 PAC meetings this year, which is really good, and there's a lot of things happening at our schools. Madera South High School had the Science Olympiad. There have been numerous school site council meetings at all our schools. We had the football playoffs for state championship, and it unfortunately ended that Madera High School lost, but they played very well, and the games were exciting. Arts Authority met, and talks were about the new playground and areas in Courthouse Park. The Black Student Union gave a presentation on the meaning of Kwanzaa, the Kwanzaa holiday, and it was very interesting, and I think we all learned a lot. The Robert Arballo Wrestling Tournament had over 50 schools and 800 wrestlers, and both gyms were filled with a lot of wrestlers. The California League of Educators met at Fort Washington Country Club for 3 Mondays to honor outstanding teachers in the Central Valley. And Madera County Historical Society would like to thank Madera High School. They provided a choir for our open house for the last 2 Sundays, and we thank them. They were very good. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Clerk Mendoza?
Want Mendoza to go first?
I'm just going by my list here in order. I got here.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this opportunity. But I did attend a few meetings. I attended the Citizen Bond Oversight Committee in Madera. I attended ALPAC. I attended the California League of Education and Middle School in Fresno, but I also attended CSBA, where I was honored and privileged to attend also with trustees Lucy Salazar, Nadim Ahmad, Joe Leo, and also Superintendent Todd Lyle, where we were there and present when Isabel Barreras and Superintendent Lyle received the award, the Golden Bell Award from CSBA. And its inscription reads, California School Boards Association Annual Golden Bell Awards 2024 presented to Madera USD for an outstanding program in the professional learning category, MUSD Classified Professional Development Program. And as Superintendent mentioned, the last time we won something was 20 years ago, right? And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And see that, takes a look. Take a look. And, I didn't know it was separated, but when it's separated, it reminded me of my old days of Little House on the Prairie. So
Everybody rang them together at one point.
So I just wanted to give you a wake-up call. Wake-up call. But it is solid brass and there's a bell on it, so I thought that was pretty interesting. I think it was a big honor for us to be there to watch them and support them receiving it. So we have to make it an objective to try to win another one sooner than 20 years. And it's doable. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. And trustee Salazar.
I attended since we last time, two PAC meetings and the DLAC meetings and with the other fellow trustees on the committee. I also went to a CASBA conference, and a couple of things that I took away was on safe sports policy to make sure we're protecting our students before, to be more proactive instead of reactive. And then on AI benefits, we should make sure our policies are addressing AR to ensure compliance with best practices. And then attended an evaluation of a superintendent. Got some key things from there that I discussed with the other trustees. And then met with the superintendent and also President Seibert and staff regarding mastery grading and the after-school program, and that was very informative and clarification on some items. And then I went to go visit Madison, the 7th grade class. My main thing was to see how they were doing with literacy and their literature and writing. And the classes, they were very, the three classes, they were very, the teachers were very, had the kids participating, collaborating, very engaging. The STEM class of science, he was very good. He had his kids working on their project. But one thing still on the DLAC meeting we were attended yesterday on the testing, it still shows that like the 6th and 7th graders are struggling with literacy and writing. So those are things we still need to be addressing on those key points. And they share the NWA report, which are doing very good in math compared to the other middle schools, which is great. And I also attended by Zoom the California Fiscal Outlook on economics for the state. So they went over the state budget, the school funding, and so there's a lot to go over there, but those are the notes that I could share with you guys later at a later time. But mostly what, of course, the emphasis is our school funding, of what our future years are going to be looking at as far as some of our COLAs are estimated. And Ms. Morales, she's already shared a lot of it. And then also I attended the Budget and Finance Committee meeting that she shared with us, and all that informative. But with the DLAC yesterday, I like the way they shared with the parents the reclassification, how they go through different stages, what they are, the 4 different categories. And so that was good explanation, a lot of information that the parents can ask from the teachers, and it could help their own children, to advance to be reclassified. Other than that, that's all I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you. I attended that meeting with President Salazar on the after-school program and Howard School Site Council meeting. So I had explained to them that our phone policy is K-8, not just middle school. But on parents that help in the classroom, do they have to be fingerprinted, and do we pay for the fingerprinting for parents?
I think if they're being supervised by a teacher, we do not require them to be fingerprinted or to go through the full process, especially if it's temporary. But if it's going to be on a more permanent basis, then we do. I don't remember if we pay for that. I think that we did once consider that a gift of public funds, and we were not able to do that.
Well, yeah, it's a gift of public funds, but they're helping us in the classroom.
They are. That's true.
Because a lot of these parents, they're not going to do it if they got to go down and get fingerprinted and pay for it and everything. So
We
look into that again.
We have looked into this. I mean, I'm looking at Trustee Dybert because I think she's probably remembering that we looked into this probably in 2017 or 18, and we ran it by legal at that time, and that was considered a gift of public funds. Doesn't mean we can't look at it again and see if there aren't some things that change or if there's some different ways we might go about it. We will do that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, trustees. We're on the final page here. Item 16, advanced planning. Next regular board meeting is scheduled for January 28th, 2025. And any suggested future agenda items?
Yeah, we could have on the beginning of January 2025, maybe January or the first week of February, a workshop for us trustees to talk about our board calendar, our goals, and update on those items that we want to work with superintendent to, to gear our school district.
Anyone else?
I want to second the request from trustee Salazar. Now that we have set up our governing calendar, that we update it because that way we schedule reports and things that we want to ahead of time so staff is prepared. So sometime in January, maybe before the 28th or sometime then we can talk about this calendar and any other topics that we want to start the year with. Also, the information that trustee Salazar mentioned about superintendent's evaluation tool, and so we can plug it into this calendar, ahead of the year.
Do we want to have some discussions on the B2B? Or we need to continue on that?
At that time, we can certainly do that. But I did hear the feedback today loud and clear. Okay.
Maybe report back to us. Maybe you can do that in closed session, I would think.
Would that be part of the district goals
Could be.
and the district reports, the quarterly reports?
Okay, item 18, adjournment. It is 10:56. And I adjourn this meeting. Thank you for attending the board meeting. Good night.
Well, if I don't see you guys again, happy holidays.
Roseland, you
Merry
are a warrior.
Christmas.